Chapter 6103. Han Jingjing nodded, but her fingers didn't stop. Alright, then I'll have to trouble Sister Jingy to look for Kerman. I'll locate them first and ask his men to help me find them. Alright, Brother Dafeng, help me call that number and see if it goes through. Sun Jingy and Brother Dafeng agreed and started making calls. Although they didn't know why Han Jingjing was in such a hurry to find the two spirit hunters, since it was her request, no one had any objections or questions. Black Shirt and Hunting Bao still couldn't get through, but Kerman's call went through. Sun Jingy said a few words and turned to ask Han Jingjing, Jingjing, what's the name of your spirit hunter friend? A Caucasian man in black with a crossguard sword. He's called Black Shirt. There's also a beauty in leather who uses a bow and arrow. He's called Hunting Bao. Does that Kerman know about them? Han Jingjing didn't stop her fingers as she raised her head to look at Jingy. Sun Jingy repeated Han Jingjing's words, listened for a few seconds, thanked her, and hung up. Kerman said he doesn't know the two spirit hunters, but he can ask around and get back to us later. If you can locate them, he can also send people to look for them. As Sun Jingy spoke, she looked at the screen of the laptop. It was a satellite map of Europe. As Han Jingjing typed in quickly, all kinds of lines and graphics flashed on the satellite map. Alright, I'll be able to locate the general area soon. As soon as Han Jingjing finished speaking, a red appeared on the screen. At the same time, the surrounding area was magnified. It looked like a forest. Are they at this location? I'll get Kerman to find someone to take a look. Sun Jingy didn't know where they were, but she was doubtful that Kerman could find them. If they were in a city or town under the influence of the Buffon family, it would be very easy to find them. However, this forest was not only in a place where people rarely went, but it was also very far from Kerman's home. Even if they sent someone there, it would take a long time. This is where they were more than an hour ago. I'm not sure if they're still there. Han Jingjing said helplessly. Black Shirt and Black Shirt's cell phone signal could only be tracked to this extent. They had completely lost the signal an hour ago, so they couldn't get through no matter how hard they tried. From their last position, they weren't too far from Evil Spirit Town. Could it be that the two of them went back to Evil Spirit Town to explore after Han Jingjing left? That shouldn't be the case. The soul gathering bottle in their hands was already filled with soul power. Before selling the soul power, there was no reason for them to continue with other missions. Sun Jingy took out her phone and prepared to call Kerman. No matter how slim the chances were, she had to ask him to send someone to look for her. She just didn't know if Han Jingjing could afford to wait. Seeing how anxious she was, she probably couldn't wait that long. Kong Xiaobo went behind the sofa and looked at the notebook as well, scratching his chin with his fingers. This area? I think it's the place Chi-Chi mentioned before. Yang Chi-Chi? Xiao-Chi? You've contacted her? Sun Jingy and the others paused. The people in the villa weren't that familiar with Chi-Chi, but the people around Lin Yi all knew each other. Lin Yi came back to the common world this time to meet the people who stayed behind, but Chi-Chi couldn't be contacted. She was said to be on a mission, so it was quite a pity. Everyone in the villa knew about this, but they didn't mention Chi-Chi until they found her. Yeah, I got a call from her 2 days ago, but I didn't remember to tell everyone. She heard that Boss came back, so she called. She was really excited and wanted to come back to look for Boss, but he went back to Sky State Island already. Kong Xiaobo shook his head. It was quite a pity as well. If Chi-Chi had heard the news earlier, she wouldn't have missed the chance to meet Boss. Let's not talk about useless stuff. Why did Chi-Chi bring up this area? Sun Jingy raised a hand to stop Kong Xiaobo. Han Jingjing's focus was clearly on this area, and it was probably important to her. Chi-Chi told me that she was on a mission in this area, and she's been here for more than a year now. There's almost no signal in the depths of the forest, so she can't contact the outside world. She only found out that Boss came back to look for her because she came out to resupply. Maybe it'll be faster if we ask her for help? Kong Xiaobo wasn't sure if this was a good idea or not, but he'd just have to try it out. What kind of mission is she on in a forest like this? And she's been gone for more than a year. Sun Jingy was speechless. She knew that Chi-Chi was an unreliable assassin, but this was way too unreliable, wasn't it? Could it be that her target was hiding in the depths of the forest, and she had to go after him? Even if that was the case, she'd been gone for more than a year. Wouldn't that make her a savage? This girl's patience wasn't just for show. I'll call Xiao-Qi first. Lin Bro really cares about her. I'll be able to tell Lin Bro about this when I get back to Sky Class Island. Han Jingjing smiled faintly. Getting news about Chi-Chi wasn't bad at all. As for black clothes and hunting Bao, Han Jingjing decided to go to Europe herself. It'd be faster that way, and Chi-Chi was in danger in that forest as well. Evil Spirit Town was at the edge of the forest, and there wasn't even a signal in the depths of the forest. Who knew if there were stronger evil spirits lurking around? Kong Xiaobo didn't waste any time and dialed Chi-Chi's number. The call connected instantly. It seemed like she wasn't in the depths of the forest yet. Han Jingjing took the phone with a smile. Chi-Chi? I'm Han Jingjing. Han Jingjing? You're not back at Sky Class Island yet? Is Bro there? Chi-Chi got excited upon hearing that it was Han Jingjing. Evidently, she knew that Han Jingjing and Lin Yi had appeared together in the common world. But remembering that Kong Xiaobo said that Lin Yi was already back at Sky Class Island, she started to worry. Han Jingjing knew that the Bro Chi-Chi was talking about was Lin. She smiled. No, Lin Bro's back at Sky Class Island already. I'm calling you to ask if you're still in that forest. Chapter 6104. Yeah, it's like this. I'm looking for two friends. They're in that area too. I'm not sure if you've seen them before. One is a white man in black, holding a crossguard sword as a weapon, and the other is a beauty in leather with a bow and arrow. Han Jingjing briefly described their outfits. It wasn't very likely, but Yang Chi-Chi might have seen them before. I haven't seen the two you mentioned before, but there's been a lot of activity around these 2 days. Most of them are Europeans. It seems like something has appeared in the forest, and I'm thinking of joining in the fun. Maybe my target will show up too. It's been more than a year. I'm going to die if I can't find him. Yang Chi-Chi was quite talkative today. Perhaps it was because Han Jingjing and Lin Yi had returned to the common world together. Han Jingjing found it funny too. Although she had seen Yang Chi-Chi before, they weren't that close. She always thought that Yang Chi-Chi was cool, but she didn't expect them to get along so well. I'm going to look for my two friends, but I'm not familiar with that area. Can you bring me along? Han Jingjing didn't need anyone to bring her. As long as she got close to the area where Hei Yi and the others were, the divine sense mark would be sensed. She only said that because she wanted Chi-Chi to wait for her. Something had happened in that area, and it would be dangerous for Chi-Chi to go in alone. It'd be safer with her. She'd be able to find Hei Yi and the Bao on the way anyway. I see. All right, when are you coming and where should I meet you? Yang Chi-Chi agreed quickly. Then, she discussed the meeting point with Han Jingjing. After reaching an agreement, Han Jingjing was ready to leave. Although she didn't want to travel long distances, it seemed like she had to go this time. Other than spirit hunters, she really didn't know who else to look for help. The people in the villa were the best in the common world, but in terms of primordial spirit, they were far inferior to her. Jingjing, I'll go with you. If anything happens, I'll be able to help. Sun Jingyi was worried about Han Jingjing and offered to go with her. Han Jingjing thought about it and did not reject it. She needed to focus all her energy on suppressing Wang Ba's primordial spirit fusion. With Sun Jingyi by her side, she could indeed help a lot. As for the others, they still had to stay here to guard the villa. Even if they wanted to go with them, Han Jingjing would not allow it. After a simple farewell, Han Jingjing and Sun Jingyi left the villa and headed for the airport. They chartered a small plane to fly to Europe. At this time, Han Jingjing felt that she should build a few more flying saucers. If there were flying saucers, it would be much easier to travel between the continents. The next day, the two arrived at the rendezvous point where Yang Chi-Chi was already waiting for them. The three beauties were all smiling like flowers because of Lin Yi, looking very intimate. Everyone in the town couldn't help but smile back when they saw them. The charm of beauties was irresistible. After preparing some supplies, Yang Chi-Chi led the two into the forest far away. She did not waste her time in the past year. She had explored many parts of the forest. In terms of familiarity, none of the locals in the town dared to say that they were more familiar with this place than her. However, after arriving here, Han Jingjing could already sense the divine mark left on Black Robe and Hunting Bough. She did not need Yang Qiqi to lead the way and could easily find them. It was just that Yang Qiqi happened to be heading in the right direction, so she did not say much. Just as Yang Qiqi said, there were indeed some people exploring this forest, but they did not know why. Han Jingjing did not care too much about it. Her only targets were Black Robe and Hunting Bough. If the spirit hunters could not help her with Wang Ba's primordial spirit fusion, she could only ask Lin Yi for help. After walking for a while, Han Jingjing could sense Black Robe and Hunting Bough more clearly. She felt that they were moving towards her. "Hey! I found my target!" Yang Qiqi suddenly cried out in surprise. It had been more than a year. She had wandered around this damn forest for more than a year and finally found the person she was looking for. Han Jingjing extended her divine sense and quickly followed Yang Qiqi's gaze to see the target she was talking about. On the surface, it looked like a black man in his 40s. He had a full beard and looked like he had not trimmed it for a long time. His hair was very long and his clothes were not tattered but very dirty. People would believe that he was a barbarian if they saw him out of the blue. However, Han Jingjing could feel a faint soul power fluctuation from his body. Needless to say, this guy was on the same level as a spirit hunter. However, this soul power fluctuation was only slightly stronger than Black Robe and Hunting Bough. With Yang Qiqi's strength, she could easily deal with him. There was no need to worry about any danger. Yang Qiqi didn't even turn her head. She pressed her hand down lightly, signaling the two to wait. Then she moved silently, approaching the man like a cat. Han Jingjing nodded to herself. Yang Qiqi was from a family of assassins after all. This kind of stealth ability was quite strong. If she didn't use her divine sense, she might not be able to detect Yang Qiqi's approach. One had to know that Han Jingjing's strength was far beyond Yang Qiqi's. If she were at Han Jingjing's level, she would be able to crush her easily. After all, the two specialized in different areas. As she was praising Yang Qiqi, Han Jingjing's divine sense picked up a small trap in the direction Yang Qiqi was going. It was very well hidden, but Yang Qiqi should have been able to detect it. But she seemed to have focused all her attention on sneaking around and didn't notice the trap at all. She lifted her foot and stepped right into it. It was just like what Lin Bro said, an unreliable assassin. Han Jingjing felt that there were a couple of black lines on her forehead, but she didn't have time to remind Qiqi right now. She could only charge forward and destroy the trap before Qiqi's foot even touched the ground. The refinement fire was silent, but Yang Qiqi accidentally made a lot of noise after destroying the trap. Her target was alerted and immediately went into a defensive stance. "He found me. Don't even think about running." Yang Qiqi didn't say anything and changed from a sneak attack to a forceful one. She didn't care that this was against the rules of an assassin. Chapter 6105. If she missed, then she'd have to run 1,000 miles away. Being discovered and attacked head-on was the worst option, unless she had complete confidence that she could take down the target head-on without any trouble. Qiqi was confident that she could take down this barbarian head-on, but more importantly, she'd wasted more than a year's time, even missing the chance to meet Ai Bro. One could only imagine the grudge in her heart, and if she didn't take care of this bastard today, she wouldn't be able to think straight. The bearded black man looked in Qiqi's direction cautiously, relaxing a little after realizing that it was 3 young girls. Qiqi had been looking for him in this forest for more than a year, and he'd been hiding here for more than a year as well. Even a female monkey would get him excited, let alone 3 beauties. Qiqi had been looking for him in this forest for more than a year, and he'd been hiding here for more than a year as well. The guy had a perverted thought in his mind, and so he chuckled as he pulled out 2 bone daggers. With a tap of his foot he charged at Qiqi. Qiqi was overjoyed. She'd been afraid that the guy would run away, after all, and it wasn't easy to catch someone in this forest. She was confident in her speed, but if she really let this guy get away, she wouldn't be spending another year here, would she? Han Jingjing stopped not too far away, not intending to interfere. The bearded black man looked like he had some strength, but compared to Qiqi, he didn't have any advantage at all. She only needed to watch from the sidelines, since this was Qiqi's own problem. It was better for her to handle it. Sun Jingyi had the same thought. She stood beside Han Jingjing, smiling at Qiqi. The two were moving at breakneck speeds, and it looked like they were about to collide head-on. Chi-Chi's petite body suddenly froze, and in a blink of an eye, she appeared behind the bearded black man. The guy's bone dagger was already swung out, holding back 30% of his strength due to his tenderness towards the fairer sex. However, the two daggers only hit air, not even touching the hem of Chi-Chi's clothes. Knowing that the situation was not good, the bearded black man immediately changed his move. Using his left leg as the axis, he fiercely flung his body out. In the blink of an eye, he completed a 180-degree turn. His two white bone knives also fiercely slashed out. It was a shame that the two blades didn't even make it halfway before they fell to the ground. Chi-Chi's dagger was already at his neck, and when he tried to twist his body, it was like putting his neck on the blade's blade. His body spun on its own, and the blade sliced through his neck. Chi-Chi paused. She'd wanted to force him to answer a couple of questions. Was this suicide? What a courageous fellow. He's dead. Chi-Chi paused. She'd been looking for this bearded black man for more than a year, and she didn't think that she'd be able to kill him in one move. Compared to the process, the ending was way too simple. Han Jingjing and Sun Jingyi hadn't experienced this for more than a year, and so they didn't know how Chi-Chi felt. The bearded black man was dead anyways, and there was no need for Chi-Chi to stay in this area. Once she found black clothes and the bow, they'd leave together. Chi-Chi shook her head. After all, this was a target she'd been chasing for more than a year. She couldn't help but feel a little empty after killing him. Of course, this feeling was quickly replaced by the joy of completing the mission. Thinking about how she'd be able to leave this godforsaken place soon, Chi-Chi became excited. He took out his phone and snapped a few photos of the bearded man's corpse as proof that he had completed the mission. He also took an earring from the bearded man's ear, which was also a kind of evidence. Han Jingjing's divine sense swept across the bearded man's body, and as expected, she found a soul-collecting bottle. Even if he wasn't a spirit hunter, he was definitely related to one. Young Chi-Chi, this guy has a small bottle in his pocket. It's something good, you can keep it. Han Jingjing couldn't help but remind Chi-Chi when she saw that she had no intention of collecting the loot. The soul-collecting bottle was definitely something good. If she didn't take it with her, it would only benefit others. The bearded man's soul-collecting bottle was almost 90% full. Chi-Chi raised her head and looked at Han Jingjing. She knew that she was the one who killed the bearded man, and so Han Jingjing didn't want to share the loot. It was purely a friendly reminder. Since Han Jingjing said it was a good item, young Chi-Chi didn't hold back. She looked around for a bit and found the 90% full bottle. She put it in her pouch. Other than the soul-collecting bottle, the bearded man didn't have many valuable things. The only thing he had were the two white bone knives. It was a shame that even an assassin like Chi-Chi wouldn't be interested in them, let alone Sun Jingyi and Han Jingjing. Originally, they didn't want the white bone knife. It didn't matter if they just left it here. However, Han Jingjing remembered that they were about to meet Black Cloak and Hunting Bow. Although their weapons were crossguard swords and crossbows, the white bone knife had a weak fluctuation of spiritual power. It would be good to use as a secondary weapon. Young Chi-Chi, if you don't want these two knives, give them to me. I'll give them to my friends. Han Jingjing didn't hold back. They were on the same side, there was no need to be so distant. Chi-Chi nodded. You can have them, I don't need them anyway. Is there anything else you like? Feel free, don't be shy with me. I won't be shy with you. Han Jingjing smiled sweetly and put away the two bone knives. She turned to look in the direction of Hei Yi and the others and said, Let's go this way? Sure, let's go then. Chi-Chi shrugged. She didn't really care where they went. She was familiar with this area, and looking for people was just a matter of walking around. Chi-Chi was in a good mood after completing her mission. She would turn back to chat with the two from time to time as she led the way. She was no longer the cool girl she used to be. The relationship between the three quickly warmed up, and they were as close as sisters. They all knew that this was all because of Lin. Otherwise, the three wouldn't even be together. Chapter 6106. If it wasn't for the fact that the forest environment was perfect for hunting Bao, they wouldn't have survived until now. My two friends are being hunted, let's hurry. Han Jingjing's face was serious. If it wasn't for Wang Ba, she would have gone to help them with all her might. Sun Jingyi knew about Han Jingjing's situation. Without a word, she grabbed their arms and said, "Jingjing, you lead the way, I'll move." Other than Han Jingjing, the strongest here was naturally Sun Jingyi. She wasn't a fighter, and her agility wasn't as high as Chi-Chi's, but her explosive speed was still much faster than the two of them. Chi-Chi didn't even have time to react before her body shot out like an arrow. That speed was indeed a lot faster than hers, and she was quite surprised at it. "Just keep going." Han Jingjing was going to Hei Yi and Hunting Bao's position, so she didn't need to change direction. Her divine sense couldn't be compared to Lin Yi's, so Sun Jingyi brought them to Hei Yi and Hunting Bao's position in a few breaths. There were 3 Caucasians chasing after the two of them, and 2 of them were obviously soul bodies. This kind of soul body sounded similar to Han Jingjing's soul body, but in fact, they were 2 completely different states. Compared to the soul body was many times more brilliant. "Jingyi sis, Shao-Chi, you two help deal with those 3. I'll take care of the 2 spirits." Han Jingjing quickly divided the work, and without waiting for the 2 of them to answer, she rushed toward the 2 soul bodies first. Even if she wasn't in a good condition to fight now, it wouldn't take much effort to deal with these 2 spirits. Hei Yi and Hunting Bao were filled with despair when they realized that someone was coming. But when they realized that it was Han Jingjing, whom they wanted to be apprenticed to, their despair turned into hope. They definitely wouldn't die this time. "Hunting Bao, counterattack." Hei roared. His crossguard sword lit up with a faint white light, and he was about to counterattack. Along the way, he and Hunting Bao had been suppressed by the other party. If not for the bountiful harvest in Evil Spirit Town and the many new trump cards they had obtained, as well as the fact that Hunting Bao was like a fish in water, the 2 of them would have been killed many times over. Now that Han Jingjing had come to his aid, Black Shirt felt that the resentment in his chest had to be vented. However, he had just taken a step forward when he stupidly stopped. The faint white light on the cross blade immediately disappeared. Hunting Bao was slightly better. He knew that the battle would end soon when he saw Han Jingjing, but he didn't expect it to be this soon. It didn't matter how bad Jingyi was at fighting, these European shrimps were nothing more than a flip of her hand. With the addition of Chi-Chi, an assassin who practiced both internal and external arts, the 3 Caucasians were on the ground in the blink of an eye. As for the 2 soul bodies, Han Jingjing did not hold back. She directly used her spiritual sense Pillfire, not even giving them time to scream, and directly turned them into nothingness. Han Jingjing sighed softly. This level of movement wasn't enough to affect Wang Ba's suppression. It would be hard to say if she did it a few more times. "Hei Yi, Hunting Bao, why are you guys still here? Who are these guys chasing you?" Han Jingjing came to Hei Yi, who was still in a daze, and asked with a frown. Hei Yi's body shook, and he came back to his senses. He quickly bowed and said respectfully, "Teacher Han, thank you for saving me and Hunting Bao. I'm not your teacher. Just call me Han Jingjing from now on." Han Jingjing said helplessly. She had said this a few times already, and it didn't seem to work. "Yes, Teacher Han." Hei Yi still respectfully agreed. Han Jingjing really wanted to kick him to death. Did he not understand human language, or did he regard her as a spirit body as a ghost, so he did not want to pay attention to ghosts? "Teacher Han, are these 2 your friends?" Hunting Bao put away his bow and ran over to greet them respectfully. He didn't forget to thank Sun Jingyi and Yang Chi-Chi either. Be it Black Robe or Hunting Bao, they could all tell that Jingyi and Chi-Chi were masters as well. As for how strong they were, they might be a little weaker than Han Jingjing, but they couldn't tell. It was just that they thought that Han Jingjing was the strongest one. "Yes, this is Sun Jingyi, and this is Yang Chi-Chi. They are my sisters." Han Jingjing introduced the 2 girls. As for Hei Yi and Hunting Bao, they naturally knew who they were, so they didn't waste time talking. After a few simple greetings, Han Jingjing immediately went straight to the point and said, "This time, I came to find you guys to ask if you can help. Teacher, if there's anything you need, just tell us. Be it climbing a mountain of blades or plunging into a wok of boiling oil, I, Black Robe and Hunting Bao, will definitely not frown." Hei Yi patted his chest with a thumping sound. He had an expression that said he would go through water and tread on fire without hesitation. It was hard for him to say such words with a Chinese accent. It seemed that in order to understand Han Jingjing, they had also studied China. It's like this. Inside my soul, there's another strong soul. Yes, it's even stronger than me. It wants to erase my consciousness and replace it with its own. If it succeeds, I'll disappear completely. Although I'm temporarily suppressing it, it's hard to say what will happen in the long run. Han Jingjing didn't bother to correct them. She came here to find out if the spirit hunters had a way to do this. After she was done, she would return to Sky State Island. It didn't matter if they treated her as a teacher or not. Hei Yi and Hunting Bao froze. They didn't know anything about the soul, but they could automatically replace it with a soul. It was easy to understand Han Jingjing's words. Teacher Han, are you saying that your soul is being stolen? Hunting Bao hesitated and tried to explain Han Jingjing's situation with his own words. Soul stealing? Yes, you could say that. Han Jingjing nodded. She didn't know what soul stealing was, but from the words, it was similar to possession. They were fighting for the soul, not the body, so soul stealing was a suitable way of saying it. Chapter 6107. Han Jingjing did not understand why it was considered amazing to be able to suppress the soul-snatching technique. However, when she thought about it carefully, if she did not have the divine sense elixir fire, Wang Ba could have completely erased her consciousness and absorbed her primordial spirit as a tonic. Teacher Han, when it comes to spirit snatching, it usually results in an instant. It's either a success or a failure. There has never been a case where a powerful spirit snatcher was suppressed and the process of spirit snatching was paused, Hunting Bao explained. He then furrowed his beautiful eyebrows and began to think. Hunting Bao, have you thought of a way to help me? Han Jingjing looked at Hunting Bao, feeling a little hopeful. Hunting Bao nodded slightly and exchanged glances with Black Shirt. Teacher Han, you're too strong. We might not be able to help with a spirit that's even stronger than you. Does that mean you have a way? It's okay, just tell me. I'll see if it works. Han Jingjing was delighted. As long as she could separate Wang Ba, she would accept it even if her primordial spirit was severely damaged. As for the difference between a spirit and a primordial spirit, there was no need to explain it now. They might not understand it even if she explained it. It was more convenient for them to understand it this way. We spirit hunters have a technique that is specially used to separate two soul bodies. This technique is called soul extraction and soul locking. It requires 6 spirit hunters to form a hexagram and simultaneously attack the soul body in the middle in order to separate it. Hunting Bao's brows were still furrowed as he slowly explained the technique he knew. Since Han Jingjing was too strong, Hunting Bao and the others couldn't even imagine a spirit that was stronger than her. Hence, they couldn't be sure if the soul extraction and soul locking method would work. 6 spirit hunters? Han Jingjing was slightly stunned. She was a little depressed when she heard the number of spirit hunters needed. Black Shirt and Hunting Bao were only 2 people. They couldn't even try. Although there were many spirit hunters in Europe, it wasn't easy to find all of them in such a short time. Are those 3 spirit hunters? Yang Qiqi suddenly pointed at the 3 unconscious Caucasians on the ground. If they were spirit hunters, they only needed to find 1 or 2. There seemed to be a lot of people in this area recently. Perhaps it would be easy to find 1 or 2 spirit hunters. They're not spirit hunters, but evil spirit warlocks, evil people who specialize in cultivating evil spirits as a means of attack. Hei Yi glanced at the 3 people on the ground in disgust. If Han Jingjing and the others weren't here, he would have killed them long ago. Although they are ghost warlocks, Teacher Han, if you can control them, you can make them spirit hunters who can extract and lock souls. After all, ghost warlocks are essentially the same as spirit hunters. Hunting Bao hesitated for a moment before giving a good suggestion. She naturally wasn't willing to let those 3 guys off just like that, but in order to help Han Jingjing, this could be ignored. As for whether she could control them, Hunting Bao wasn't worried at all. Apart from Han Jingjing, the 2 beautiful girls were similarly powerful to the point of being unfathomable. They definitely wouldn't have any problems dealing with the 3 ghost warlocks. Yang Qiqi didn't say anything, and in a flash, she appeared next to the 3 on the ground. She raised her slender hand, and with 3 crisp slaps on the face, The ghost warlocks woke up from their unconscious state. Hei Yi and Hunting Bao broke out in cold sweat. This little beauty was really tough. You three, do you want to live or die? Yang Qiqi's little face was cold as she looked down at the ghost warlocks on the ground. The three ghost warlocks didn't know what was going on, and they couldn't care less about their burning faces. They just subconsciously nodded and said, "Want to live, want to live." The souls they had raised were all dead. One was killed by the Hunting Bao, and the other two were burned by Han Jingjing. None of them were fools. When faced with an existence that they could not resist, it was wise to bow down as soon as possible. Since you want to live, be obedient. As long as you do well, I won't mistreat you. Yang Qiqi smiled disdainfully as she took out a bottle from her bag. She poured out 3 black pills. This is a slow-acting poison. It'll take effect in 3 days. Take 1 each, and as long as you don't try anything funny, I'll give you the antidote later. Otherwise, you'll choose to end your own lives early. The 3 ghost warlocks who were already sitting up looked at each other. To be honest, they didn't suspect that Yang Qiqi's poison was fake at all. They knew how to poison people and control people like this, and that was why they didn't dare take it easily. The problem was that they didn't have a choice at all. Take the pill and hope for a chance of survival or die right away. Normally speaking, this wasn't even a choice. Since they had no choice, they could only obediently obey. Without much hesitation, the 3 ghost warlocks took the pills with frowns on their faces. After each of them swallowed one, they stood aside with unsightly expressions. Yang Qiqi was still a little worried, and in a flash, she slashed at 4 trees in 4 different directions before returning to her original spot. It took her no more than a second or two. The 3 felt their vision blur, and the 4 trees around them snapped at the same time, falling back with a rumble. The cuts were smooth as a mirror, definitely cut in half. Run if you want, unless you think you're faster than us and have the antidote on your own. Yang Qiqi warned coldly as she twirled the dagger in her hand before disappearing. Who knew where it went? We wouldn't dare. No, we won't run. The 3 spirit warlocks broke out in a cold sweat as they smiled and bowed. Even with the poison in their stomachs, they wouldn't dare run even if it was just Qiqi's speed and power, let alone the fact that they had the poison in their stomachs that would take effect in 3 days. As for the souls that were killed, they didn't even think about them. They were dead, they could be raised later. As for revenge, they just wanted to be buried with the souls. Yang Qiqi humphed lightly, a satisfied look on her face. With these 3 ghost warlocks, she only needed to find a spirit hunter to help. Chapter 6108. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. Black Shirt remembered this and quickly bowed to apologize to Han Jingjing. He then continued, "We were going to go back, but after we left, we received a notice that an evil spirit king appeared in this area. This kind of evil spirit king is a treasure in our line of work. It happened to be not far from us, so Hunting Bao and I came back to take a look. There should be quite a few spirit hunters nearby who received the news. It shouldn't be a problem to find one to help. If it were the Black Cloak and Hunting Bao before they went to Evil Soul Town, they might not have gotten themselves involved in this mess. However, after their trip to Evil Soul Town, both their strength and their equipment had greatly improved. Only then did they have the confidence to seek out an opportunity. Han Jingjing wasn't interested in the mysterious evil spirit king at all. She just wanted to gather 6 spirit hunters as soon as possible to complete the spirit extraction and soul lock, and extract Wang Ba from her soul. Within the range of Han Jingjing's divine sense, she hadn't found any other spirit hunters yet. She could only find Black Shirt and Hunting Bao by relying on the divine sense marks left on them, so she didn't have any good ideas at the moment. If only Yang Qiqi had captured the black-bearded man alive. Whether he was a spirit hunter or not, he still had soul power waves on him. He could have easily made up the numbers. Thinking of the bearded man, Han Jingjing then remembered that she had brought the 2 white bone daggers. They were originally for Black Shirt and Hunting Bao, so she took them out and handed one to each of them. These are the spoils of war. You 2 can play with them. Han Jingjing gave them the white bone daggers casually, but Black Shirt and Hunting Bao were slightly shocked when they saw it. White bone killing spirit dagger. Miss Han, how did you get it? Could it be that you killed the Dark Devil Man? Black Robe respectfully received the white bone dagger and asked casually, "What the hell was a dark demonkin?" Han Jingjing didn't know. "I got these 2 daggers from a black-bearded man. Just now, that guy was killed by Shao Qi in one move. I don't know if he's the dark demonkin you mentioned." Han Jingjing pointed at Yang Qiqi, and the 3 spirit warlocks looked at Yang Qiqi with more and more reverence. Listening to the description and the appearance of the white bone-killing spirit blade, they could basically confirm that the dark demonkin was done for. In their circle, the dark demon man was quite famous for his ferocity. In a situation where they didn't have a soul body, the 3 of them combined would probably only be able to take 1 slash from him. Hunting Bao solemnly received the white bone-killing spirit dagger. After bowing and expressing his thanks, he could not help but guess, it should be him. This guy has disappeared for a year or 2. I didn't expect him to be hiding here. I wonder if the newly appeared evil spirit king has anything to do with him. While they were talking, a person appeared in Han Jingjing's divine sense. Looking at his movement style and equipment, he should also be a spirit hunter. Anyway, 9 out of 10 people who would come to this area at this time were spirit hunters or ghost warlocks. "Jingy sis, there's someone in that direction. Help me find him and see if you can help." Han Jingjing pointed in that direction. She and Sun Jingyi no longer needed to be courteous with each other. Sun Jingyi didn't say much. After a slight nod, she exerted strength in her legs and disappeared in a flash. The 3 spirit warlocks were even more silent. They thought that Yang Qiqi's speed was terrifying enough, but this Jingyi sis was even faster. They didn't have a chance to escape at all. Black Clothes and Hunting Bao's eyes lit up as well. They felt that the mysterious China was indeed different. Any random girl that came out of it was so strong. The 2 were even more determined to follow Han Jingjing to China to train. Before the 2 could finish their thoughts, Sun Jingyi had already run back with a person in her hand. With her strength, if the other party was unprepared, it would be a piece of cake. "Shanling, why are you here? You came here alone?" Black Cloak and Hunting Bao were surprised. It was obvious that the person being carried was someone they knew. "Ugh, Black Clothes and Hunting Bao. Who is this beauty? Can you ask her to put me down first?" This guy called Shanling was a Caucasian in his 30s. He had slightly curly brown hair and a very clean-shaven face. He looked quite handsome. It was just that the scene of a 1.9 tall man being carried by a 1.7 beauty was a little funny, and it made him very embarrassed. "So it's someone I know. That makes it even easier." Sun Jingyi smiled and put Shanling down. She returned to Han Jingjing's side slowly. "All right, you guys can catch up later. Right now, let's talk about soul extraction and soul lock." Han Jingjing didn't want to wait a second longer. As long as she could get Wang Ba out, anything was fine. "Soul extraction and soul lock? Black Clothes, what are you 2 doing? And aren't those 3 spirit warlocks? Can you guys have fun together now?" Shanling approached Black Clothes and Hunting Bao and asked Black Clothes softly. At the same time, he kept glancing at Han Jingjing and the others. "It's a long story. This is Teacher Han. She's a spirit body, but there's a stronger spirit body trying to steal her soul. It's just that it's temporarily suppressed by some mysterious Eastern secret technique. So, we have to use soul extraction and soul lock to extract that powerful spirit body." Black Clothes also lowered his voice and explained to Shanling, "Black Clothes, are you done? Can your friend help you?" Han Jingjing glanced at Black Clothes. If Shanling wasn't willing to help, she wouldn't force him to help for the sake of the 2 of them. Anyway, there should be other spirit hunters nearby. She just had to find one as soon as possible. "Teacher Han, don't worry. Shanling will be fine. We'll start right away." Black Clothes was now focused on following Han Jingjing to Huaxia. Of course, he had to take on everything first. After assuring Han Jingjing, he quickly turned back to Shanling. "Shanling, now listen up. There can't be any accidents in this soul extraction and soul lock. Help us this once, and we'll repay this favor in the future." Shanling looked hesitant. He had personally experienced how powerful Sun Jingyi was. Since Han Jingjing was able to stand beside her, he thought that she wouldn't be any worse. Chapter 6109. "Shanling, as long as you can help, it doesn't matter if you fail or not, this bottle of soul power is yours. Hunting Bao was even more straightforward as he took out his soul-gathering bottle. The soul power inside was what they and Han Jingjing had collected in Spectre Town. It was definitely of high quality. Shan Ling was immediately moved. Black Shirt and Hunting Bao's favor aside, just this bottle of soul power was worth more than 10 million euros. There was no reason to reject it regardless of success or failure. Since there wasn't much danger even if they failed, Shan Ling nodded and smiled. We're old friends, there's no need to be so polite. Alright, then it's a deal. This guy didn't hold back at all. He took out his soul-gathering bottle and transferred the entire bottle of soul power over. After putting it away carefully, he patted his chest in satisfaction. All right, when do we start? Black Shirt and Hunting Bao looked at Han Jingjing. Of course, this was up to her to decide. With Sun Jingyi and Yang Qiqi here, they could do it anytime and anywhere. There's no time to lose, let's start now. Do you have any other restrictions? Han Jingjing didn't want to wait any longer. If it was possible here, then they'd do it here. There's no restriction, here is fine too. Black Shirt replied quickly as he directed the 3 ghost warlocks to their respective positions. Hunting Bao and Shan Ling didn't need to be told, they were already ready. Black Robes was the last to land. The 6 of them surrounded Han Jingjing and focused their minds. A faint white light began to shine from their bodies, and faint soul force undulations began to spread out from beneath their feet. First, they formed a circle with the 6 of them standing at one point of the circle. When the circle formed by the soul power stabilized, a straight line extended from each person's feet, connecting them to the person on their right. Thus, the 2 overlapping equilateral triangles formed a perfect hexagram. Han Jingjing was in the center of the hexagram. Her primordial spirit body was slightly unstable, as if it could return to its primordial spirit state at any time. This situation had never happened before. It was clearly caused by the 6 people's soul extraction and soul lock. Europe really does have something special about them. These spirit hunters should be low-level cultivators. I wonder if their high-level cultivators are more powerful. If there's a chance, I should ask around. The corners of Han Jingjing's mouth curled up slightly. She did not forcibly control the condensation of her essence soul body. Instead, she directly transformed into her essence soul state. In this state, it would be easier for Wang Ba to fuse with it. However, it was also because of this that it would be easier to strip Wang Ba's primordial spirit. Noticing that Han Jingjing had transformed into her primordial spirit state, Black Shirt and the other 5 widened their eyes at the same time. They let out a low shout in unison, and the undulations of their soul power immediately increased sharply. Ah, little girl, you finally can't suppress me anymore, right? Obediently let me fuse with you, and you'll have a share of the glory when I rampage through the world in the future. Wang Ba noticed the change in Han Jingjing's state. He laughed maniacally and started to fuse again. Although he was not in the form of a particle ball, he could still fuse in the form of a primordial spirit. After all, a part of it had been completely fused. However, Wang Ba soon sensed that something was wrong. His primordial spirit was being pulled by a strange force. Not only was it unable to fuse with Han Jingjing's primordial spirit, but it was also being pulled away. Not only that, but the small part of the fused primordial spirit was also going through the same process. What's going on? What did you do? Wang Ba, who had been suppressed, did not know what was happening in the outside world. Therefore, he did not notice the hexagram formed by Black Shirt and the soul extracting and soul locking technique. Han Jingjing was relieved. Black Robe's soul extracting and soul locking was indeed effective. No matter what, Wang Ba's primordial spirit had started to separate from her primordial spirit. Although it was a little slow, she was satisfied as long as there was progress. Black Shirt and the other 5 looked extremely solemn. Although they knew how to extract and lock one's soul, no one would usually use it. Therefore, no one was confident that it would succeed. It seemed to be working now, but Black Shirt and the others knew that the soul that was trying to seize Han Jingjing's soul was really powerful beyond their imagination. It was just the beginning and they were almost at their limit. They did not know how long they could last. Han Jingjing's divine sense had been paying close attention to their situation. After the soul power fluctuation of the hexagram reached a peak, it began to struggle and slowly descend. Although Black Shirt and the others tried their best to pull it higher, the fluctuation of their soul power continued to descend steadily. It looks like Black Cloak and Hunting Bow's strength is limited. They can't maintain this soul-extracting and soul-locking hexagram. I can't completely rely on them. Han Jingjing was an intelligent person. With just a thought, she knew what she needed to do. A divine sense pill fire started burning in Han Jingjing's primordial spirit. It landed mercilessly on the small part of Wang Ba and Han Jingjing's primordial spirit that had fused completely. Are you crazy? Are you courting death? Wang Ba immediately screamed. The damage of the alchemic fire to the primordial spirit was only second to that of lightning, and it was only slightly weaker. Let alone Wang Ba, even Han Jingjing would have to suffer fatal damage from such an attack. As it was a primordial spirit that had fused, Han Jingjing was not immune to the divine sense pill fire at all. If she wanted to hurt Wang Ba, she had to hurt herself. Such a sudden self-destructive attack caught Wang Ba, who was focused on resisting the soul-extracting and soul-locking off guard. He subconsciously wanted to stay away from the soul alchemy fire, so the soul-extracting and soul-locking of Black Robe and the others easily extracted more than half of him. The 6 of them, who were already at their limits, suddenly recovered and felt that they could continue. Han Jingjing's primordial spirit was also injured by the divine sense pill fire. Her primordial spirit became much more illusory and transparent. However, it was all worth it. Although the divine sense pill fire did not completely destroy their primordial spirits, it was still 70 to 80% destroyed. Wang Ba's desperate escape caused the last bit of connection to be completely severed. In other words, the remaining small part of the primordial spirit was completely controlled by Han Jingjing. After a period of fusion, it would become Han Jingjing's primordial spirit and have nothing to do with Wang Ba anymore. Chapter 6110. Wang Ba, who had suffered a great loss, was heartbroken. He was already severely injured. Otherwise, he would not have tried to devour Han Jingjing's primordial spirit. Now that he was injured again, if he could not possess a body, his broken primordial spirit would not exist for long. It would dissipate on its own soon. However, this was not what shocked him the most. When his spirit was forcibly separated from Han Jingjing's spirit, he realized that he could not leave the center of the hexagram formed by the soul power. If he could move, he would have gone to possess a body even if his strength would be greatly reduced. It was much better than having his spirit dissipate. Moreover, he had the creation battle art. No matter how weak his body was, there was always a chance for him to return to his peak. Putting aside Wang Ba's predicament, Han Jingjing felt her primordial spirit becoming weak, but at the same time, she felt indescribably relaxed. The adventure this time could be said to be a great success. At least she drove that annoying bastard out of her primordial spirit. Hei Yi and the other 5 heaved a sigh of relief. The most difficult part of soul extraction and soul locking was extracting the spirit. After completing the soul locking, it was definitely a lot easier. At least now that Wang Ba was restrained, the pressure on the 6 of them was almost non-existent. Teacher Han, should we just kill this spirit to collect the soul power or what? Hei Yi's complexion was much better now. He could barely squeeze out a smile and asked Han Jingjing respectfully. Han Jingjing was slightly startled. Of course, killing Wang Ba was not a problem, but this bastard spirit was extremely powerful. At his peak, he was definitely far stronger than the Shenxing or even the Earth creation stage. Wouldn't it be a waste to just kill him? Such a powerful primordial spirit was not something those low-level evil spirits could compare with. Black Robe and the rest soul-gathering bottles were almost full, and only the Hunting Bow's bottle had just been emptied. Even if they had a few hundred empty soul-gathering bottles, they would not be able to contain the soul power of Wang Ba's primordial spirit after it dissipated. Teacher Han, if you're willing, we can help you subdue this soul body and make it your dedicated soul puppet. After the 3 ghost warlocks exchanged a meaningful glance, one of them spoke. After witnessing Yang Qiqi and Sun Jingyi's strength, the 3 of them had lost all courage to fight back. All they wanted now was to perform well and get the antidote, staying alive. Controlling souls and cultivating them into evil spirits as fighters was what the evil spirit warlocks were best at. Although they did not know that Wang Ba's primordial spirit was different from his soul, to Han Jingjing, as long as there was such a method, she would give it a try. What should I do? Han Jingjing pondered for a while and felt a little tempted. Completely eliminating Wang Ba would at most be satisfying, but if she could subdue him, she might be able to help brother Lin Yi a lot. The ghost warlock was secretly delighted. As long as Han Jingjing was satisfied, then the lives of the three of them would be more secure. Therefore, without any hesitation, he immediately explained in detail the method of controlling soul bodies. In fact, it would be easier for them to control Wang Ba if they helped. If Yang Qiqi and Sun Jingyi weren't here, they might have suggested this. However, in order to avoid arousing suspicion, they could not make any mistakes, in case they misunderstood that they were trying to control Han Jingjing. After all, she was a soul body. After listening to the explanation carefully, Han Jingjing thought about it for a while and roughly understood how to control the primordial spirit. Speaking of which, she was really lucky. The most crucial step to turn Wang Ba into her puppet was to get a strand of his primordial spirit that he willingly gave out. Only then could she completely kill the puppet with a single thought. Usually, Han Jingjing would not be able to do this given the difference in the strength of their primordial spirits. The three ghost warlocks' methods were only used to deal with low-level souls. They had no effect on Wang Ba's primordial spirit. However, in order to fuse with Han Jingjing, Wang Ba took the initiative to fuse with her primordial spirit, so that Han Jingjing could skip the most difficult step. After Han Jingjing's elixir mind fire burned most of the fused primordial spirit, the remaining fused primordial spirit still contained Wang Ba's primordial spirit. It was suitable to be used as the control hub for the primordial spirit puppet. How dare you? Yuans, how dare you control me? I'll teach you a lesson. After hearing the ghost warlock's words, Wang Ba could not help but panic. Although the main body of his primordial spirit had lost contact with the fused primordial spirit, he could still feel the traces left behind. In other words, the probability of Han Jingjing controlling him was very high. If he could re-establish contact with that part of the primordial spirit, or even retrieve the remaining fused primordial spirit, Wang Ba felt that he could turn Han Jingjing into his primordial spirit puppet. Because of that, he panicked even more. Hold on, don't let this soul break free. Hei Yi shouted in a low voice. The rest of them immediately calmed down and increased the output of their soul power, sealing the struggling Wang Ba once again. A dignified primordial spirit at the quasi-sea-splitting stage had actually fallen into such a state. He was trapped by a few low-level guys. Thinking about it, Wang Ba felt that he was so pitiful. He really wanted to cry but had no tears. When they separated Wang Ba previously, Hei Yi and the others had already reached their limit. Han Jingjing's alchemic fire gave them a chance to catch their breath. Now that it was just a soul lock, there was no way for Wang Ba to break free in such a weak state. Very soon, Han Jingjing had mastered the method to control Wang Ba and turn him into her puppet. Because she did not need to extract Wang Ba's primordial spirit, she directly refined the fused primordial spirit into a control hub. After a short while, Wang Ba, who had been cursing, suddenly quietened down. He felt that he had re-established a connection with the fused primordial spirit that he had lost. However, this connection was not the same as before, where the main body was in charge. Instead, it was the complete opposite. His primordial spirit was completely controlled by this connection, and his life was in the hands of the other party. Han Jingjing transformed back into her primordial spirit state. She looked at Wang Ba with clear eyes and said with a faint smile, "Wang Ba, from now on, you're my primordial spirit puppet. You have to listen to me. Do you understand?" Wang Ba felt extremely aggrieved. He knew that he was powerless to struggle and his life was in the other party's control. He could only bow his head for now and think of a way to break free in the future. Chapter 61:11. Han Jingjing heaved a sigh of relief. She could sense that Wang Ba did not surrender to her wholeheartedly. However, it did not matter. She could decide his life and death with a single thought, so she was not afraid of him stirring up trouble. After Wang Ba finished speaking, he kept thinking. Han Jingjing had heard what the evil spirit warlock said, and so had he. Han Jingjing did have the absolute control now, but the wisp of spirit she used to refine the control hub also contained her own spirit. In other words, if Wang Ba had the chance to snatch the spirit control hub that Han Jingjing had refined, not only could he get rid of the control, but he could also control Han Jingjing in an instant. Wang Ba sneered to himself. You want to control me? Fine, I'll pretend to be weak for now. When I get the chance, I'll let you know that I'm not that easy to bully. Han Jingjing nodded at Black Shirt and Hunting Bao. That's enough. This guy is under my control. You guys can remove the hexagram. Only then did Black-Clothed and Hunting Bao heave a sigh of relief. The two of them had definitely contributed greatly to the success of this matter. If they were to suggest that they follow Han Jingjing to the mysterious east to train, they would have a higher chance of success. After the hexagram disappeared, Wang Ba regained the ability to move his primordial spirit. However, he would not act rashly to take back the control hub of his primordial spirit. He had to wait for Han Jingjing to completely trust him and let her guard down before he made his move. If he acted rashly now, he would be done for. Wang Ba was not that stupid. Everyone knew that Han Jingjing was most worried about him at the moment. Master, my spirit is seriously injured. If I don't have a physical body, I'll disappear very soon. Look, I'm your personal property now. If I disappear just like that, won't you lose it for nothing? Although the bodies of the 6 guys here are like trash, I can still live in them for the time being. Can I choose one to possess? Wang Ba's spirit smiled obsequiously. He glanced at Black Shirt and the others maliciously as he spoke. This guy's primordial spirit was indeed more illusory, and it was worlds apart from Han Jingjing's. If his condition was half as good as Han Jingjing's, the plan to fuse primordial spirits would have been realized long ago. Hei Yi and the rest did not quite understand Wang Ba's words, but they could not help but feel a chill run down their spines from his sinister gaze. They instinctively wanted to stay away from him. Especially the 3 evil spirit warlocks. Although they had helped Han Jingjing control Wang Ba, they were the ones with the lowest status here. Needless to say, they would be the ones to suffer any misfortune. If that's the case, I'd like to try and turn you into a real puppet after you take over my body. Han Jingjing glanced sideways at Wang Ba and said with a faint smile. Wang Ba immediately withdrew his gaze and continued to bow and smile apologetically. I was just joking. I know Master has a good plan for my dissipating primordial spirit. I will definitely follow Master's instructions to the letter. Naughty girl. You're not even willing to give me the bodies of a few trash. When I regain control of my primordial spirit, I'll definitely let you know what it means to be in agony. Wang Ba grumbled in his heart, but his expression became more respectful. At this moment, he did not dare to offend Han Jingjing at all. Ignoring Wang Ba, Han Jingjing turned around and beckoned to the 3 ghost warlocks. The 3 guys did not know what Han Jingjing was thinking, but they did not dare to reject her. They looked at each other anxiously and slowly walked to her. Take out the soul-gathering bottles from your bodies. Han Jingjing stretched out her hand calmly. She did not have a good impression of these guys who raised evil spirits. It was good enough that she could spare their lives. She did not feel any psychological pressure taking away a few soul-gathering bottles. The 3 evil spirit warlocks secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Although the soul-gathering bottles were precious, they were nothing compared to their lives. They would still feel the pinch, but they took out the soul-gathering bottles faster than the other. Han Jingjing grabbed 3 soul-gathering bottles casually. They were only half filled with soul power, which was only slightly more than 1 bottle in total. It was far from enough to heal Wang Ba's primordial spirit, but it was better than nothing at most. Take these soul power, and it can control the injury of your primordial spirit. Since Han Jingjing had subdued Wang Ba, she would not let him die just like that. She wanted to go back to Huaxia, but it seemed like she had to stay here for a while. She should be able to collect a lot of soul power after killing the evil spirit king. Wang Ba did not know what soul power was, but since Han Jingjing asked him to take it, he did not dare to object. After thanking her with a flattering smile, he carefully took the 3 soul-gathering bottles, opened them, and poured them into his mouth. As soon as the soul power entered his mouth, It was immediately converted into a healing power for his primordial spirit. Although it did not have an obvious effect due to the small amount, the feeling still made Wang Ba's eyes light up. This was good stuff. If he had enough of it, it was entirely possible for him to return to his peak, let alone heal his primordial spirit. Master, what's this? It's really helpful for my primordial spirit, but there's too little of it. Where can I find more? Wang Ba returned the 3 soul-gathering bottles to Han Jingjing respectfully, but he subconsciously glanced at Shan Ling and Black Shirt. After all, they were powerful primordial spirits. Although they were weak at such a close distance, it was easy for him to confirm that the 2 scumbags had more soul power than the 3 bottles combined. This is the remaining pure soul power after a soul dissipates. I'll find a way to collect more to treat your injury. Han Jingjing smiled faintly and kept the 3 soul-gathering bottles. She had made a device to collect free soul power between heaven and earth previously, but Lin Yi kept it in the space in the jade pendant. Now that she had the 3 soul-gathering bottles, she could totally make another device. It would not be so troublesome if she could find the evil spirit king. It would definitely be enough to stabilize Wang Ba's primordial spirit. When she returned to Heaven Stage Island, she would hand him over to Brother Lin. There would be better arrangements then, right? Thank you, Master. Shall we go now? Wang Ba glanced at Shan Ling and Black Shirt regretfully. He knew that Han Jingjing would not touch the soul-gathering bottles in their hands, so he could only sigh inwardly. Black Shirt had been willing to pay any price to follow Han Jingjing. Now was the time to show off. Seeing that Wang Ba needed soul power, he immediately took out his soul-gathering bottle and presented it to Han Jingjing with both hands. Chapter 61:12. Hunting Bao turned to look at Shan Ling. If he had known that Han Jingjing would need soul power later, he would have changed his offer. Shan Ling, can you sell your soul power to me? 10% higher than the market price. How about that? Hunting Bao thought quickly and offered a tempting offer. When spirit hunters borrowed soul power from one another, they usually paid around 80% of the market price. It was almost impossible for them to pay 10% more than the market price like what Hunting Bao did. Shan Ling hesitated for a moment. He could see that this was a good opportunity to raise the price, but Han Jingjing and the others were so powerful. Only a fool would offend them for a little money. No need, I'll give you my soul power according to the rules. We're all friends, we all have our moments. Shan Ling waved his hand and took out 2 soul-gathering bottles from his waist pouch. One was full of soul power that Hunting Bao had transferred, and the other was about 70% full. Thank you, Hei Yi, and I owe you one. Hunting Bao smiled, took out 2 soul-gathering bottles, and gave them to Han Jingjing respectfully. Then, he went to discuss the transfer with Shan Ling. Han Jingjing would not be polite with Hei Yi and Hunting Bao. If they did not take it out, she would not ask for it. Since they were willing to take it out, she had no qualms about taking it out. Wang Ba happily consumed the soul power in the 3 soul-gathering bottles. The amount this time was almost twice as much as the last time, so the effect was more obvious. It did stop his primordial spirit from dispersing for the time being. Han Jingjing returned the 3 empty soul-gathering bottles to them. After thinking for a while, she asked Hei Yi, "What's the situation with the evil spirit king? Do you know where it is now? Is Teacher Han going to chase after the evil spirit king?" Hei Yi was secretly excited. With Han Jingjing's strength, dealing with the evil spirit king would be a piece of cake. If they followed her, they might get more benefits than going to Evil Spirit Town. Teacher Han, regarding the evil spirit monarch situation, those few evil spirit warlocks know more than us. Hunting Bao glared at Black Robe in dissatisfaction. What was wrong with this fellow? He actually didn't answer Teacher Han's question. This had already happened once before, and now he's doing it again. Could it be that he really wants to squander all the goodwill that he's worked so hard to earn? Black Shirt immediately understood. He smiled awkwardly and nodded in agreement. Fortunately, Han Jingjing didn't care. She smiled and turned to the 3 ghost warlocks. Tell me everything you know. As long as it's proven, I'll ask her to cure you. Han Jingjing pointed at Chi-Chi, who was standing there coolly. The eyes of the leading ghost warlock lit up, and he hurriedly led the other 2 to bow and express his thanks. Then he sorted out his words and explained everything he knew. In fact, this evil spirit king isn't naturally produced, but rather artificially raised. However, some problems occurred during the raising process, and after it escaped, it became an ownerless evil spirit king. Therefore, after we evil spirit warlocks heard the news, we all wanted to tame this evil spirit king. If we succeed, then our strength will increase by a large margin. In addition to us ghost warlocks, the spirit hunters also received the news. They and us ghost warlocks are enemies. Therefore, they want to eliminate the evil spirit king before we tame it. In addition to the huge amount of soul power, they can also use the evil spirit king's death to get a boost in strength. In addition, I heard that the original breeder of the evil spirit king has already tracked it down and wants to retrieve the evil spirit king. The ghost warlock spoke quite clearly. Unfortunately, Han Jingjing wasn't very interested in these things. Who was the original breeder? Where is the evil spirit king now? Han Jingjing interrupted the ghost warlock, and directly threw the questions she needed to know to him. I heard that the breeder is a very mysterious organization. The specific information isn't clear, but according to rumors, it should be a very powerful organization. Whether it is Europe or Asia or even North and South America, there are traces of this mysterious organization. As for the evil spirit king, its current location isn't clear, but we can feel that it hasn't left this area. The ghost warlock maintained a respectful smile and answered Han Jingjing without the slightest stuttering. Han Jingjing and Sun Jingyi looked at each other. When they heard about a mysterious organization, the two of them would subconsciously associate it with the center. Moreover, a strange thing like the evil spirit king was exactly what the center would be interested in. But the center's seabed base had already been destroyed. Could it be that there were other bases in Europe? Perhaps they were different branches? After all, no matter how powerful the evil spirit king was, it still couldn't compare to the biochemical cultivators they mass-produced. Han Jingjing shook her head slightly. Whether that mysterious organization was the center or not, in any case, it had no effect on them, so there was no need to pay attention to it for the time being. Evil spirit kings and the like, whether it was ordinary alchemy fire or spirit sense alchemy fire, they could be steadily taken care of. China's alchemists were definitely the natural nemesis of such existences. Are you sure you can find this evil spirit king? Han Jingjing turned around and calmly looked at the three ghost warlocks. What she needed was the evil spirit king's enormous soul power. As for the rest, it didn't matter. Not very sure, but we can try. The leading ghost warlock was very cautious. He didn't dare to guarantee, but he also didn't dare to completely deny it. Who knew what would happen to the three of them after they lost their value? Then let's go. I need you to help me find that evil spirit king. Han Jingjing didn't want to waste time. After a simple discussion with Sun Jingyi and Yang Qiqi, she urged the ghost warlock to lead the way. In terms of tracking evil spirits, spirit hunters also had extremely strong methods, but compared to ghost warlocks, they were still a notch inferior. Therefore, Black Shirt, Hunting Bow, and the rest had no objections. They let the three ghost warlocks walk in front, while they followed behind Han Jingjing. The group was clearly divided into three groups, with the three ghost warlocks at the front, Han Jingjing, the three girls, and Wang Ba in the middle, and Black Shirt and the other two spirit hunters at the back, with a distance of about 2 meters between each other. Such a combination was enough to deter other spirit hunters or ghost warlocks in the forest, enough to ensure that no one would dare to provoke this group, and it also saved them a lot of trouble. After walking for more than an hour, the ghost warlocks seemed to have found the feeling and increased their speed. They no longer changed their direction frequently, but after locking on, they advanced in a straight line. Chapter 61:13. If I'm not mistaken, it should be in this direction. The leader of the ghost warlocks turned around and nodded respectfully. He had an ancient compass-like item in his hand. There was a faint undulation of soul power on it. It was probably used to track the ghost king. Han Jingjing glanced at the compass indifferently. She had no intention of coming over to take a look. As long as she knew the theory behind it, she could make more and better ones at any time. Jingyi sis, Qiqi, we need to speed up. Bring them along so that the ghost king doesn't get away and wastes more time. Han Jingjing really didn't want to waste time in this forest. These spirit hunters and ghost warlocks were much faster and more durable than normal people, but they were still slow. Who knew how long it would take if they kept running like this? Sun Jingyi and Yang Qiqi didn't have any objections. They nodded and started assigning people. The leader of the ghost warlocks had to lead the way, so he and Lightning were carried by Sun Jingyi at the front. Han Jingjing carried Black Shirt and the Bao in the middle. Yang Qiqi brought the other two ghost warlocks at the back. To be honest, Yang Qiqi didn't really like these two ghost warlocks. If it wasn't for the fact that they were still useful to Han Jingjing, she would have thrown them away. As Han Jingjing's soul puppet, Wang Ba had to fight for a chance to perform. He followed closely and took Black Shirt from Han Jingjing's hands. Bringing Black Shirt wasn't much of a burden to him. Plus, Black Shirt took out her soul power for him to consume. Wang Ba had a good impression of her. After the adjustment, the group's speed increased by more than 10 times. Only Yang Qiqi seemed to be struggling. In the end, Han Jingjing ordered Wang Ba to bring the other two ghost warlocks as well. The weight of 3 people made the heavily injured Wang Ba a little tired. He had a bitter expression on his face. It was a pity that Han Jingjing had a clear estimation of his limits and pretended not to see it. After advancing for another 3 minutes or so, Han Jingjing finally found traces of the evil spirit king within the range of her divine sense. At this moment, it was being besieged by 5 people. These 5 people were neither spirit hunters nor evil spirit warlocks. Looking at their uniform, they were most likely the people of the mysterious organization that raised the evil spirit king. Normally, when a breeder was dealing with an artificially raised vile spirit king, they would definitely have a final method of control, just like a backdoor program. As long as they found it, they could easily retrieve it, but this vile spirit king that had gone out of control was obviously not one of them. The 5 of them had no way of affecting the vile spirit king at all. Although they were fighting fiercely, they were already surrounded by danger, and there was no telling when they would be killed. Just as Han Jingjing was thinking that, one of them shuddered and collapsed to the ground. It looked like he was dead. The 5-man formation, which was already in a precarious position, was instantly torn apart by the evil spirit king. In the time it took for a breath, the remaining 4 were dead one after another. The soul power of these 5 fellows did not dissipate, and was directly absorbed by the vile spirit king. The eerie aura on its body became a little thicker. Han Jingjing's expression was calm, but she was very shocked in her heart. Originally, she did not take this vile spirit king seriously, but after seeing it now, in terms of strength, it was still not enough for her to take it seriously. However, this vile spirit king's growth rate made Han Jingjing a little worried. The evil spirits in the vile spirit town were at most about the same as the Earth stage warriors in China. Therefore, in Han Jingjing's estimation, something like the vile spirit king would at most be able to contend against a heaven stage warrior. Only now did Han Jingjing understand how wrong she was. Perhaps the original vile spirit king did indeed have the strength, but the most terrifying thing about this thing was its growth rate, and not how powerful it was at the beginning. For example, the vile spirit king that had absorbed the soul power of 5 people had stepped into the early stage of the golden elixir realm from the power of the foundation establishment perfected realm right under Han Jingjing's eyes. The secular world did not lack people, and there was really as much soul power as one wanted. If this vile spirit king was left alone, it was really impossible to predict what kind of monster it would eventually grow into. If that mysterious organization was really the center, then the vile spirit king that they had researched would indeed not be inferior to a biochemical cultivator, and might even be more powerful in the later stages. When the vile spirit king had completely absorbed the soul power of the 5 people, Han Jingjing and the rest finally came face to face with it. Including the spirit hunters and ghost warlocks in black, the moment they landed, they got into an attacking stance. With so many people appearing at once, the vile spirit king did not have the slightest fear. Instead, it looked very happy. It probably felt that with the food that was delivered to its doorstep, it would become a little more powerful. Master, leave such a small character to me. It will be straightforward and not sloppy. Wang Ba's eyes lit up. The strength of the vile spirit king was not enough to pose a threat to him now, but absorbing and fusing with such an vile spirit king would definitely make his injuries recover a lot. Although he did not have the ability to devour primordial spirit like Lin Yi, he could use the fusion method that he had learned in the wormhole space. After all, it was just a small little vile spirit king in the early stage of the golden elixir realm. It would not be able to resist at all. Oh, go ahead then. Han Jingjing waved her hand indifferently. She was looking for the vile spirit king to treat Wang Ba's injuries. Since he had volunteered himself, she would see how her primordial spirit puppet performed. Wang Ba was instantly overjoyed when he got Han Jingjing's approval. He could not miss any opportunity to recover his strength. When Han Jingjing was careless, he could kill it with one strike and snatch the control hub of the primordial spirit. The evil spirit king itself was not low in intelligence, but it was a pity that things that were artificially raised would always have some innate flaws. Even though it felt that the people in front of it were a bit dangerous, it did not think of hurriedly running away. Instead, it kept thinking about how much benefit and improvement it would receive after killing these people. Wang Ba laughed weirdly and pounced forward. The evil spirit king also became excited. If these people swarmed at him, with its simple intelligence, it might hesitate to avoid them. However, since it was only Wang Ba, there was nothing to worry about. It was going to kill them all. Chapter 61:14. Han Jingjing nodded slightly. Wang Ba did have some tricks up his sleeves. He would be able to help Lin Yi Big Brother a lot after he recovered. Thinking about this, she felt that staying in the common world wasn't a waste. Black Shirt, Hunting Bao, and the rest were nervous at first, but in the blink of an eye, Wang Ba had already suppressed the evil spirit king. They could not react in time. It was a powerful evil spirit king, and judging from its aura, it was definitely a super evil spirit king that had evolved many times. Yet, it could not even survive one blow from Wang Ba. They felt chills running down their spines when they thought about how they had used soul extracting and soul locking to deal with such a powerful being. They then thought, wouldn't Han Jingjing, who could fight Wang Ba and even control him in the end, be even more powerful? Putting aside the fact that Black Shirt and the rest admired Han Jingjing even more, Wang Ba had completely released his primordial spirit. It turned into a faint layer of mist and enveloped the evil spirit king. He then began the forceful integration. The evil spirit king, who could not fight back at all, let out a shrill shriek, but it could not break free from Wang Ba's primordial spirit. It could only watch as its soul power was assimilated by Wang Ba. In essence, there was a difference between integration and devouring. However, Wang Ba slowly realized that his primordial spirit had an additional devouring ability during the integration process. It was an ability that he had obtained from the evil spirit king that he had integrated with. Although it was of a low level, it was a skill with great potential for growth. After comparing it carefully, Wang Ba believed that his integration and devouring ability might be more powerful than the devouring ability of the guy he had met in the past. He could not help but feel excited. If he had the chance to meet the guy again in the future, he would definitely let him have a taste of integration and devouring. Wang Ba was in a great mood after accidentally obtaining a super skill. To hide the secret, he continued to integrate the evil spirit king's soul power while chuckling weirdly. He tried to divert everyone's attention by talking nonsense so that Han Jingjing would not notice anything. It was a trump card for him to regain control of the evil spirit king in the future, so he must not expose it. Han Jingjing really did not notice what Wang Ba was thinking. She only saw that Wang Ba's injury was getting better. Although it was impossible for him to recover in a short time, at least it was stabilized. It would not cause his primordial spirit to collapse in a short time, which was actually enough. Black Clothes, Hunting Bao, take out the soul-gathering bottle and use it to collect soul power. Although that fellow is wrapped up quite tightly, there is still a lot of soul power leaking out. Don't waste it. Han Jingjing turned around and called out to the others. She also took out the 3 soul-gathering bottles she got from the Ghost Warlock and began to collect soul power. The evil spirit king's soul power base was indeed astonishing. To be able to rise to such a level, it definitely had to devour thousands of souls to achieve it. As such, although the soul power it released wasn't much, it was more than enough to fill the soul-gathering bottles. Naturally, Black Clothes and Hunting Bao did not stand on ceremony. After hesitating for a while, Flash also took out his soul-gathering bottle and joined in the collection of soul power. Only the three ghost warlocks had bitter looks on their faces. Having lost the soul-gathering bottles, they could only watch from the side. Wang Ba did not care about the soul power that was leaking out. Compared to the total soul power of the evil spirit king, this was just a drop in the bucket. When he did not have any soul power, he was very interested in it. Now, whoever wanted it could have it. When the few of them had collected all the soul-gathering bottles, Wang Ba's fusion with the evil spirit king was almost complete. The powerful evil spirit king had completely disappeared, and Wang Ba's primordial spirits seemed to be in a much better condition. His strength had also recovered. Master, thank you for giving me a chance. I feel much better now. If you need anything in the future, just let me know. I will definitely do it properly for you. Wang Ba flew to Han Jingjing's side and expressed his gratitude respectfully. In fact, at that moment he was wondering if he should suddenly attack. Although his strength had not recovered, the devour skill that he had just obtained made him restless. However, after thinking about it again and again, Wang Ba suppressed his desire. Just as he had thought, Han Jingjing would definitely be very wary of him at this stage. Any slight movement could directly wipe out his primordial spirit. If he wanted to get rid of her control, it was definitely not a good time. It was better to continue to endure and recover his strength while gaining Han Jingjing's trust. In the end, he would kill Han Jingjing in one fell swoop. In a flash, Wang Ba had already sorted out the pros and cons of this matter. Hence, he continued to put on a flattering smile and said, "Master, I think there seems to be some good stuff in this forest. Do you want me to help you search for it? Maybe we'll find something good." This was completely nonsense. Wang Ba was just trying to show his loyalty and divert Han Jingjing's attention. If he really went to search, he might be able to find a few evil spirits to replenish his primordial spirit. However, he did not believe that he would be able to find any treasures. "I'm not interested. You'll be fine for now, so come back to Huaxia with me. We'll talk about other things when we get there." Han Jingjing rejected him decisively. She had achieved her main goal of coming here, and she had even gotten herself a lackey. Now, she just wanted to return to Heavenly Island to see her big brother Lin Yi as soon as possible. She did not have the time to play some treasure hunting game with Wang Ba. If she had the time, she might as well study wormholes. "Ms. Han, we'd like to go to Huaxia with you. I hope you can give us a chance." Black Shirt and Hunting Bao looked at each other and bowed at the same time. This might be their last chance. If Han Jingjing didn't agree, they didn't think they would ever see her again. They could only hope that she wouldn't continue to reject them since they had helped her a lot this time. Han Jingjing was indeed hesitant. She was about to return to Heavenly Island, so she definitely could not let the two of them follow her. However, she did owe them a big favor this time. If she did not return it, she would feel bad. Sun Jingyi knew what the two of them were thinking and understood Han Jingjing's dilemma. Hence, she smiled and said, "Do you too want to cultivate with Jing Jing? If that's the case, you've found the wrong person. Although Jing Jing is very powerful, she's definitely not good at fighting. If you just want to become stronger, I can think of a way for you." Chapter 61:15. "Miss Jingyi, are you accepting us as disciples on behalf of Miss Han?" Hunting Bao asked expectantly as he looked at Sun Jingyi. One had to admit that these Europeans were quite direct. They were just thinking about becoming Han Jingjing's disciple, and now they were going to Sun Jingyi. This was a huge taboo in Huaxia, but it wasn't that big a deal in Europe. Han Jingjing didn't mind, and was actually happy that Sun Jingyi could help her return the favor. "I'm not a fighter, and you'd be blind to ask me to teach you guys how to get stronger. Yang Qiqi, on the other hand, is a strong fighter, but her path isn't suitable for you guys. If you trust me, I can recommend a place for you." Sun Jingyi spoke unhurriedly, and Hei Yi and Hunting Bao nodded repeatedly, not sure if they really agreed with her or not. "Are you taking us to Huaxia, Miss Jingyi?" Black Clothes couldn't help but ask. The mysterious Huaxia had become a holy land for him and Hunting Bao. It was as if going to Huaxia would change them completely. "You guys don't need to go to Huaxia to train. You know the Buffon family in Europe, right? Their young master, Kerman Buffon, is currently training in the combat aspect of our training system. If you guys are willing, you can go train with him. It'll be much better than following us." After you guys finish your basic training, you can come find us in Huaxia with him. What do you think? Sun Jingyi really gave a good solution, and now it was up to Black Clothes and Hunting Bao to agree. Black Clothes and Hunting Bao looked at each other, and after communicating with their eyes, they nodded at the same time and said solemnly, "All right. We'll train our basics in Europe first, and when we're done, we'll come find you two for the next step of training. But at that time, I hope that you two can personally teach us. When you guys really start training, you'll know that I'm telling the truth. We're not good at fighting, and you guys might even hate us when we ask you to follow us." Jingyi teased with a smile. The matter was settled, and she'd contact Kerman later to settle the two of them down. Flash wanted to interrupt. After seeing the power of Han Jingjing and the others, he had become similar to black-clothed huntsmen. However, they were not close enough to each other, so he did not take the initiative to help. Therefore, he felt embarrassed for a while. Han Jingjing and Sun Jingyi naturally wouldn't rush to ask him if he wanted to join them. If he took the initiative to ask, they might let him bask in the limelight for the sake of Black Shirt and Hunting Bao. Since he didn't say anything, they could only miss the opportunity. Yang Qiqi took out a couple of pills and gave them to the three, saying that it was an antidote. She sent them away after they took it with 1,000 thanks. In actuality, the pills she gave them weren't poison in the first place, it was just some bug-repellent stuff. She just needed to crush one and sprinkle it around her when they rested, and it would work. Staying in the forest for more than a year made things a lot more convenient with this stuff. It was a little poisonous, but it wouldn't kill them. Even the chance of diarrhea was small. The three spirits were completely fooled by Yang Qiqi. Leaving Black Clothed and Hunting Bao to meet up with Kerman, the two sides parted ways. Han Jingjing, Sun Jingyi, and Yang Qiqi, with Wang Ba in tow, left Black Clothes' group far behind in a breath's time. It didn't take long for them to leave the forest area. After returning to Huaxia, Han Jingjing was in a hurry to get back to Sky Island. She didn't go back to the villa and said goodbye to Sun Jingyi and Yang Qiqi at the airport. "Jingyi sis, Xiao Qi, I told you last time that I'd be going back soon, but it dragged on for so many days. Lin Ebro must be really anxious at Sky Island, so I need to get back as soon as possible. Thank you for your help this time. Once we understand the theory behind the wormhole, it'll be much easier for us to travel between Sky Island and the common world. We'll definitely see each other more often then." Han Jingjing took the initiative to hold Sun Jingyi and Yang Qiqi's hands, a gentle smile on her face. The three of them had grown closer after this trip to Europe. "Jingjing, there's no need for thanks between us. It's true that we can't go to the center wormhole, but with Dafeng there, I don't think they'd dare do anything to you. You have to get back to Sky Island safely, okay? Write us a letter as soon as you get back, okay?" Sun Jingyi was still a little worried. It wasn't the first time that Han Jingjing had come back to Sky Island, but not once did it go smoothly. She hoped that nothing would go wrong this time. Han Jingjing didn't go back to Sky Island for a day, and Lin Yi was worried. They were worried as well. "I know, don't worry, Jingyi sis. It'll be fine this time." Han Jingjing smiled. Using the wormhole was actually quite safe, as long as they didn't meet another soul like Wang Ba blocking their way. When you see Ebro, you have to tell him that Xiao Qi misses him a lot. Tell him to come back and see me when he has the chance. Yang Qiqi shook Han Jingjing's arm, not forgetting to pass on the message to Lin. This time, when Linny came back, she was playing hide and seek with that black man in the forest. Just thinking about it pissed her off. What dark fiend? That bastard should be used to sharpen a knife. No problem, Lin Ebro's soul is very strong. He'll have more chances to go back and forth through the wormhole in the future. Don't worry, he'll come back and see you for sure. I know that he misses you a lot too. You don't know how regretful he is that he couldn't see you this time." Han Jingjing patted the back of Yang Qiqi's hand and waved goodbye. "Have a safe trip. Send my regards to everyone on Sky Island." Sun Jingyi and Yang Qiqi suppressed the reluctance in their hearts and sent Han Jingjing off with a smile. "I'm leaving. Take care, I believe that we'll meet again soon." Han Jingjing said one last sentence and turned into her soul form with Wang Ba, flying towards the entrance of the wormhole in the center. Today, the wormhole was in the center's hands, but it wasn't a problem for Han Jingjing and Wang Ba. She didn't even contact Dafeng Bro and just entered the wormhole with Wang Ba. The teleportation this time was very smooth. Although she didn't know how long it took, Han Jingjing was sure that it wouldn't be too long. Chapter 61:16. In the next moment, Han Jingjing finally had time to observe the surrounding environment. There was no doubt that this was definitely a place controlled by the center. There was still Brother De Feng in the secular world, but the wormhole on Heavenly Island was completely under the control of the center. After Lin Yi returned, he did not have time to talk to the center about the wormhole. In fact, the center's attitude was very clear. They could let you use the wormhole, and it did not matter what goods came and went, but they could not let you control the wormhole. This was because this wormhole was actually one of the center's bases, and it was the most important base. If Lin Yi wanted to intervene, it would be strange if the center would agree. Did you guys put up such a big formation to welcome me? That's a great honor. Han Jingjing smiled slightly, and her expression was extremely calm. Although there were dozens of powerful cultivators around with all kinds of weapons aimed at her, and the man who spoke just now also had a shocking aura, Han Jingjing believed that they would definitely not make a move. It's necessary to welcome Miss Han, but more importantly, we want to ensure that you don't run around. After all, this is our very important base. If any secret is leaked, it will be very troublesome. The man with the deep voice was wearing a cloak that could block the prying of divine sense. Not even a trace of his skin was exposed. Han Jingjing could not see what he looked like, but he seemed to be a little old. Of course, these could all be faked. In addition, Han Jingjing's divine sense was also limited to this small area around the wormhole's exit. If she wanted to extend it further, she would be obstructed. Wang Ba estimated that it was the same. We're already here. What are you going to do? Not let us leave, or secretly send us out? Han Jingjing curled her lips and looked at the cloaked man with a faint smile. If he wanted to send her out, the location of this place would definitely be exposed. The spirit body was completely different from an ordinary body. There was no need to use the eyes to observe, unless the center had a way to restrict Han Jingjing's divine sense in the spirit, and she could not release it at all. Even so, Han Jingjing's spirit could still roughly determine the location of this place through the time of return, the direction of the route, and so on. It might be difficult for others, but she was the genius Han Jingjing. How could such a small matter be difficult for her? Miss Han must be joking. Although we don't know who your friend is, you are certainly not someone we can stop. Even if the connection with your main body is broken, you can return to your main body with a single thought. We can't stop your return. The man in the cloak shrugged and admitted it indifferently. His words revealed that he knew Han Jingjing quite well. As for Wang Ba, he did not say much. So that's how it is. You've set up such a formation just to force me to return to my body, right? This way, it will save you the trouble of exposing your position. It is indeed a good plan. All right, in order to see Big Brother Lin Yi as soon as possible, I won't be long-winded with you. I'll let you have your way this time. Han Jingjing smiled faintly. She was not very interested in the center's base as long as they did not stop her from returning to see Big Brother Lin. Wang Ba's eyes rolled a few times. He was wondering if he could use Han Jingjing's enemies to deal with her. He was not a fool. Instead, he was a scheming fellow. Otherwise, he would not have been able to make arrangements and wait for tens of thousands of years. The situation in front of him was obvious that the two sides were enemies. If he jumped out and said a few words, it was very likely that the two sides would fight. However, after hearing that Han Jingjing could return to her physical body directly, Wang Ba temporarily suppressed his desire to provoke her. Otherwise, if Han Jingjing went back with a swoosh and left him to face the powerful formation in the center, it would be like digging a hole and burying himself in it. Moreover, these two groups of people were obviously not easy to deal with. If they did not fight but beat him up, he would be doomed. Master, these guys don't look friendly. You'd better leave quickly. I'll distract them. As long as you can get out of danger safely, that's better than anything else. Wang Ba lowered his voice and expressed his loyalty at the right time. At the same time, he was secretly testing Han Jingjing to see if she could really get away at any time. If she could not, He would have to reconsider if he could fish in troubled waters and find a chance to devour Han Jingjing's primordial spirit so that he could take back the control hub of the primordial spirit in the shortest time possible. Alright, I'm leaving. Be careful. Han Jingjing glanced sideways at Wang Ba and chuckled all of a sudden. She then dispersed her primordial spirit and left the place. Wang Ba was dumbfounded. Isn't this chick too straightforward? Shouldn't she say something from the bottom of her heart, then shout some slogans about advancing and retreating together, and at the same time increase their friendship and trust before leaving together? Alright, I'm leaving. Be careful. What the hell is going on? Can't we just have fun together? It seems like this primordial spirit is not someone important. Take him down and use him to study the feasibility of teleporting primordial spirits through wormholes. Be careful not to kill him. Although the cloaked man was surprised by Han Jingjing's straightforwardness, he was not too surprised. It was the right choice after all. As for Wang Ba, he should be some primordial spirit friend that Han Jingjing found in the secular world. Anyway, he had never heard of such a person on Heaven Level Island. It would be good to capture him and study him. Do you think you can capture me just because you want to? You're just a bunch of ants. Do you really think you're that powerful? Watch how I'm going to deal with you. Wang Ba was extremely frustrated. He wanted to vent his anger on the people in the center. Wang Ba had never dealt with the center before, so he did not know how powerful they were. Otherwise, he would not have been so arrogant. He might have surrendered right away. Fortunately, Wang Ba did not need to know how powerful the center was, nor did he have the chance to surrender. Less than 2 breaths after Han Jingjing left, he felt a pulling force that broke through the space and pulled him out of the place. After a moment of dizziness, he appeared in an unfamiliar room. 10,000-year-old tortoise? You're not dead yet? As soon as Wang Ba focused his eyes, he saw a familiar face looking at him with a strange smile. It was the little bastard who destroyed his plan that he had set up for 10,000 years. You're that Lin Yi? Wang Ba was an extremely smart guy. He figured out the relationship between Han Jingjing and Lin Yi in an instant as soon as he saw them standing side by side. Chapter 61:17. Wang Ba felt tears welling up in his eyes. He really wanted to look up at the sky and let out a long sigh. Unfortunately, it was impossible for his primordial spirit to cry. Facing Lin Yi and Han Jingjing, he did not dare to look like he was about to be struck by lightning. Yo, isn't this Mr. Lin Yi? So you're the one my master's been thinking about. I've said it before, in this world, other than a young, handsome, talented, elegant hero like you, who else could be a match for my master? I'm asking who else? No one. Absolutely no one. Wang Ba maintained a 45-degree pose in his mind, but in reality, he was nodding and bowing, looking at the ground at a perfect 45-degree angle. His mouth flowed with flattery, and even Lin Yi found it funny looking at him like a lackey. It's never too late for a gentleman to take revenge. I'm a true hero who knows when to yield and when to stand tall. I'll let you guys be happy for now, but I'll kill all of you later. No wonder you're all so annoying. Turns out you're all from the same nest. When I get the chance, I'll definitely wipe out all of you bastards. The more Wang Ba cursed in his heart, the more flattering words came out of his mouth. Lin Yi and Han Jingjing could not help but have goosebumps. They quickly asked him to stop so that their ears could finally hear some peace. Alright. You're lucky that you're not dead. However, I'm surprised that you turned into Jingjing's primordial spirit puppet. Lin Yi waved his hand and asked Wang Ba to stand aside. He then turned to look at Han Jingjing and asked with a smile, Jing, what exactly happened? Why did you take so long to come back? Lin Yi did not say how worried he was or how much he had done to find Han Jingjing's primordial spirit. Anyway, Han Jingjing had returned safely, so there was no need to say anything. Han Jingjing held Lin Yi's hand and said timidly with her head lowered, I'm sorry, Brother Lin. It's my fault. I was too concerned about the wormhole, so I took so long. I made everyone worry about me. At that moment, Tian Chan and Sydney heard the commotion and rushed in. They cheered when they saw that Han Jingjing had woken up. The 3 girls chatted and interrupted the conversation. Wang Ba stood in the corner carefully and sorted out his thoughts. He had figured out what had happened earlier. Han Jingjing had the primordial spirit control hub, so she knew something that Wang Ba did not, such as the distance between her and the primordial spirit puppet. If he was right, Han Jingjing knew that no matter the distance, as long as the primordial spirit control hub was, she could summon the primordial spirit puppet to her. That she could, so she returned to her body first and used this method to pull Wang Ba back. The connection between the two was similar to the connection between Han Jingjing's primordial spirit and her body. As long as she could sense it, she could ignore the space and return instantly. Unfortunately, this was a privilege that only Han Jingjing, who had the control, had. It was a one-sided ability. Other than being summoned passively, Wang Ba did not even have the right to refuse. Looking at the time that Han Jingjing and Wang Ba returned, she probably only had time to say one sentence to him before pulling his soul back. From this point, it could be seen that Han Jingjing didn't want anything to happen to Wang Ba. Otherwise, she just needed to wait a little longer and she might be able to locate the central base through sensing Wang Ba's location. Lin Yi did not join the conversation between the three girls. Although he and Han Jingjing had a lot to say, he could only hold it in and let them finish their conversation. Wang Ba stole a glance at Lin Yi, and Lin Yi happened to glance at him with a faint smile. Wang Ba immediately put on a flattering smile, nodded and bowed and said, "Master Lin Yi, I was wrong in the past. We got to know each other after a fight. We're family now, so please take care of me in the future. Don't call me master, it sounds weird. Just call me Boss Lin Yi like everyone else. I'll let bygones be bygones for now, but there are some things that I'll have to ask you about later." Lin Yi did not want to settle the score with him. Speaking of which, Wang Ba was quite unlucky. Not only was his 10,000 years of arrangement completely destroyed, but all the good stuff was also taken away. The subsequent mental cultivation method of the creation battle art, the Xianhai soul condensing liquid, the 1,000 amplification formation, and so on, which one of them was not a rare treasure. Lin Yi himself felt that he had gained a great advantage. Now that Wang Ba had been taken in as Han Jingjing's primordial soul puppet, this guy's bad luck was unparalleled. It was not very kind of him to continue to argue with him when he was already in such a state. Lin Yi was not that narrow-minded. He would talk to him about the 1,000 amplification formation when he had the time. Perhaps they could find some common topics. Unfortunately, Lin Yi did not know that Wang Ba was up to no good. He wanted to find a chance to devour Han Jingjing's primordial soul and then deal with Lin. The best outcome would be to take over Lin Yi's body. However, Wang Ba had suffered once when it came to taking over a body, so he did not dare to do it to Lin Yi. Han Jingjing's body was not suitable for it. If possible, it would be best for him to find another cultivator of the creation battle art, which was the will of heaven, to take over. Yes. Thank you, Boss Lin Yi. If there's anything you need me to do in the future, just let me know. I'll definitely do it properly for you. Wang Ba cursed Lin Yi in his heart, but the smile on his face became brighter. He patted his chest and looked like he was going to take care of everything. Lin Yi did not want to talk too much about the creation battle art and the 1,000 amplification formation for the time being. Therefore, he casually said a few words and joined the conversation between the three women. Wang Ba was left alone in the corner, cursing Lin Yi and Han Jingjing. After a long time, Han Jingjing, Tian Chan, and Sydney told him about what had happened these days. Lin Yi was secretly surprised. He did not expect that there was another world in the wormhole where primordial soul could wander freely. Moreover, there was an even deeper tunnel beside the exit of the wormhole in the secular world. Perhaps it was really connected to the primordial underworld? Brother Lin, you just said that the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce has started to be established and they're going to purchase goods from the secular world through the wormhole, right? While Han Jingjing was talking about her experience, Lin Yi, Tian Chan, and Sydney also talked about many things, so he had a general understanding of the situation here. For example, the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce, the Far North Island Auction, the Gathering God Branch, and so on. Chapter 61:18. That's right. Shang Wani is a talent. With him presiding over the Chamber of Commerce, there shouldn't be any problems. The only thing we need to worry about is the supply. You're trying to say that the wormhole exit is controlled by the center, so it's not safe for us to purchase goods from the secular world, right? Lin immediately understood what Han Jingjing meant. In fact, this was what he was worried about. After all, the agreement with the center only lasted for a year. If they could not control the wormhole exit, the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce would only be prosperous for a year at most. By then, the center would still monopolize the business. That's right. But as I said just now, in the secular world, other than the stable wormhole exit in the center, there are many small wormhole cracks. Although most of them are very unstable, the biggest one can barely be fixed. I believe the situation on Heavenly Island should be the same. If we can find a fixed wormhole crack on Heavenly Island and find a way to strengthen it, we can turn it into our own wormhole exit. As soon as Han Jingjing talked about this, her little face immediately lit up. Lin even felt that she had a comprehensive plan. Sure enough, before Lin could ask, Han Jingjing waved at Wang Ba in the corner. This guy had been paying attention to their conversation. As the saying went, know yourself and know your enemy, and you will never be defeated. If he wanted to secretly plot against Lin Yi and Han Jingjing, of course, he had to know more about them. So when he saw Han Jingjing waving at him, he immediately came over with a smile. Master, what can I do for you? Wang Ba had vaguely guessed what Han Jingjing was thinking, but it was still very necessary for him to play dumb now. If he was too smart, he would not live long. How did you enter the wormhole? Do you remember the location? Han Jingjing's question was just as Wang Ba had guessed, so he was not surprised at all. Boss Linny knows about this as well. I activated the mini portal that I had prepared earlier, but Boss Lin Yi followed me in. The mini portal that could only transport one person at a time was overloaded, so there was an irreversible error. I was seriously injured and was thrown into the wormhole. If I wasn't lucky, I would have been dead. Wang Ba pretended to sigh and avoided the main point. Boss Linny, you should know about this too. You should have been prepared for this. Lin Yi nodded. What Wang Ba said was the same as what he knew. When the mini-teleportation formation was damaged, it might have opened a wormhole crack, so Wang Ba appeared in the wormhole space. Does that mean that there might be wormhole cracks on that island? Lin Yi rubbed his chin and asked uncertainly. At that time, although his divine sense was greatly restricted, he still scanned most of the area and did not find any wormhole cracks, so Han Jingjing's guess was reasonable, but if he really went to look for it, he would most likely be disappointed. Brother Lin Yi will know if there's one or not when we go and take a look. With Wang Ba leading the way, it'll be easy to find it. If we really find a stable exit, we'll have a chance to suppress the Chamber of Commerce in the center. Han Jingjing was very interested in wormholes, so she was not willing to give up on any possibility. Naturally, Lin Yi would not reject her. Moreover, he had his own ideas about wormholes. If he could really find a new exit, he would be more confident in fighting against the center in the future. It's not that we can't go and take a look, but the defense formation on that island has been completely damaged. There was also a sea monster tide at that time. If we go there now, I reckon we'll only see ruins. We might not be able to find any useful clues. Lin Yi felt helpless. The interior of the island was completely supported by the formation. Now that the formation had been destroyed, it was hard to say if it could still maintain its original state. Even if there was a wormhole, it would definitely be inside the island. Given the current situation, it was difficult to enter the island, let alone find a wormhole. Wang Ba volunteered and raised his hand. Boss Lin, Master, I set up the formation on that island. If it's not too badly damaged, I can still repair it. As long as the defense formation and the concealment formation are repaired, the sea monsters won't attack for a while. Once the formation is repaired, we can go deeper into the island to look for what we need. Alright, if that's the case, go and repair the defense formation on the island first. We'll look for you later. Han Jingjing made up her mind. With Wang Ba going back to work on it, the interior of the island would soon see the light of day. Lin Yi thought about it and didn't say anything. It had been so many days and the sea beasts should have left by now. It wouldn't be a problem for Wang Ba to go alone. Although the original formation was destroyed, the foundation was still there. He just needed to fix it and it could be used again. Don't worry, Master. When I do things, I will definitely do it beautifully and properly. It won't take long for the entire island's array formation to be completely repaired. Wang Ba patted his chest as a guarantee out of habit. At the same time, he began to think if he could take this opportunity to trick Han Jingjing and Lin Yi while he was setting up the formation. Forget it, forget it. I haven't recovered from my injuries. In a situation where I'm not strong enough, even with the help of the formation, I might not be able to kill Han Jingjing instantly. As long as I give her a chance to breathe, she can kill me instead. Moreover, Lin Yi knows a lot about formations. If he finds out something is wrong, we'll be in big trouble. I'll let them live for a while longer. Wang Ba thought about it again and decided to wait for another opportunity. At least his primordial spirit had to recover more. There was another reason why he volunteered to repair the formation. Wang Ba had been relying on the Xianhai soul condensing fluid to survive for a long time. It had almost become his most indispensable treasure. Lin Yi had taken all the Xianhai soul condensing fluid the last time he went there. There were only 2 drops left, and Wang Ba did not have time to take them away. He was eager to go back now for the Xianhai soul condensing fluid. It didn't matter whether the 2 drops Lin Yi left were still there or not. Wang Ba was a scheming person, so he would definitely leave something for himself. He had already hidden a bottle of Xianhai soul condensing liquid in a secret place. There weren't many, only about 30 drops. Since he had set up a concealing formation, no one would be able to find it unless they used their divine senses to search repeatedly. Although it was only 30 drops, it was more than enough to heal his injuries. It could also ensure that Wang Ba's primordial spirit could use it for the next 10 to 20 years. Chapter 61:19. If he wanted to take back the dark sea soul condensing fluid that he had hidden, he could only go to the island alone. If Lin Yi followed him, wouldn't his efforts be in vain again? There's no need for that. Boss Lin Yi, you should keep master company. You haven't seen each other for a long time. Spend more time together. It's just a small matter, and I can handle it by myself. If Boss Lin Yi is interested in formations, we can talk about it when we're free. It'll definitely be more interesting than doing this boring mending. Wang Ba waved his hand with a smile on his face. He rejected Lin Yi's kindness in a euphemistic way. He even used Han Jingjing as a cover to show that he was considerate of Lin Yi. Lin Yi raised his eyebrows and looked at Wang Ba meaningfully. Although this guy did not appear to be too eager, he still seemed to be a little strange. It's okay. We'll go with you and watch you do the mending. That way we won't have to run back and forth. Han Jingjing originally wanted Wang Ba to go alone, but she suddenly changed her mind. Wang Ba was indeed a smart guy, but Lin Yi and Han Jingjing were not idiots either. They could tell that something was wrong just from the slight unnaturalness. That works too. I'll be more motivated to do things if Boss Lin Yi and Master can watch me. Wang Ba had cursed the 2 of them 1,000,000 times in his heart, but he could only keep a smile on his face. He dared not show any hesitation. Don't take back the dark sea soul condensing fluid that you've hidden. I don't believe that you 2 little bastards can keep staring at me. Wang Ba clenched his teeth in hatred and started to flatter Master Lin again. He thought to himself, if I can't kill you now, I'll drown you with my flattery first. Lin Yi did not bother with this guy. Since he had decided to go back to the island, there was no time to lose. Han Jingjing was back, and he would go to the South Continent after making some arrangements for the affairs on the island. He wondered how Languzo was doing in the South Continent. Tiandan Pavilion had been quiet recently, but Han Jingjing could deal with that later. Since Tian Chan and Sydney had nothing to do, Lin Yi brought them, Han Jingjing, and Wang Ba to the island. The will of heaven had been cultivating in seclusion ever since he got the follow-up mental cultivation method of the creation battle tactics, so Lin Yi did not disturb him. After they left the center of the island, they got on the UFO and flew toward the island at high speed. When he returned to this small island, it just so happened that the tide was low. The part of the island that was exposed to the sea was in a very bad state. After all, it had been attacked by so many sea beasts at the same time. After the defensive formation was broken, it was already not bad that it had not dissipated. Boss Lin Yi, Master, I'm going to repair the formation now. Wang Ba said respectfully. When the 2 of them nodded in agreement, he left the flying saucer and landed on the island. He was thinking to himself, what kind of celestial device is this? It's so awesome. Looks like the owner is not simple. I better not act rashly. Lin Yi's divine consciousness was locked on Wang Ba, watching him repair the formation base. Since he did not have high-quality formation flags, he could only replace them with ordinary ones that he could buy. The effect was naturally not as good as before, so he could only make do. Brother Lin Yi, are you suspecting that there's something wrong with Wang Ba? Han Jingjing asked curiously. She was Wang Ba's master, so she could know what he was doing at any time. Lin Yi's divine consciousness might not be as convenient as hers. If Lin Yi needed it, she did not mind watching Wang Ba at all times. This guy is not an ordinary person. He's a real tortoise. Also, it's not easy to set up such a plan. Don't let your guard down just because you can control him. Lin Yi smiled. He could not help but think of Yu Yi when he said this. Although Yu Yi and Wang Ba were two different people, they felt inexplicably similar. Yes, I won't let my guard down. Han Jingjing nodded solemnly. She then opened her eyes wide and watched Wang Ba attentively. If this guy wanted to secretly retrieve the Xianhai soul-condensing liquid, now was definitely not a good time. No matter how secretive he was, he could not escape Han Jingjing's surveillance. Actually, I'm quite interested in this guy's Tao of formations. The myriad amplification formation diagram I obtained from him will produce different Tao of formations according to everyone's comprehension. So, if I can study his methods and train of thought, it will be beneficial to my Tao of formations. When the ghost told Lin Yi previously, he did not quite believe it. However, after studying it for a period of time and communicating with the ghost, he finally confirmed that it was true. Although almost all of Lin Yi's formation skills were taught by the ghost and could be said to be of the same origin, the myriad amplification formation diagram could still produce a completely different direction of formation skills according to their understanding. In this aspect, the value of the myriad amplification formation diagram had far surpassed the subsequent mental cultivation methods of the creation battle tactics. Tian Chan and Sydney were not very interested in Wang Ba and formation skills. Instead, they were very fond of the flying saucer. At this moment, they came over and said to Han Jingjing, "Jing, this flying saucer is very beautiful and comfortable. Is it suitable for Lin Yi to have it alone? Can you make one for us when you have time? That way, it'll be convenient for us to come and go in the future." No problem. When the matter of the wormhole is settled, Jing will make one for everyone. However, the materials may not be easy to find. Brother Lin Yi will have to solve that. Han Jingjing looked at Lin Yi with a smile while paying attention to Wang Ba. Lin Yi, did you hear that? Hurry up and find all the materials. Otherwise, you know what I mean. Tian Chan waved her little fist at Lin. Her cute face was full of threat. As for how powerful it was hard to say. Lin Yi pretended to be surprised. He shrugged and said, "Otherwise what? I don't know." "You don't know? I'll kick you." Tian Chan immediately revealed her true colors. Then she remembered that there were two good sisters by her side. Her pretty face could not help but blush. Sydney could not help but laugh. She knew that Tian Chan liked to talk like this when she was with Lin Yi in private. However, she would not do this if there was someone else around. Today, she blurted it out because she was happy. In fact, it could be seen that she did not treat Sydney and Han Jingjing as outsiders. "All right, Lin Yi's a busy man. He doesn't have time to look for materials for us. He'll just pay attention when he gets the chance." Xue Li shook her head with a smile and said gently, Is your little mistress feeling sorry for him? Or do you want to just stay in Lin Yi's flying saucer, so you don't need your own flying saucer?" Tian Chan was a little embarrassed just now. She immediately dragged her good sister into the water. That's what you get for laughing. Chapter 61:20. Lin Yi could not help but smile. He had been adventuring and fighting for a long time, and he suddenly realized that this kind of funny scene was the most attractive to him. The three girls did not take Lin Yi seriously at all. They chattered and laughed, and Lin Yi, who was sometimes implicated, was also enjoying it. Unknowingly, the defensive formation below was almost repaired. After a slight fluctuation in the air, Lin Yi knew that the island had a certain level of defense again. However, it would not be able to withstand the attacks of sea beasts of the same level as before. A third of the sea beasts would be enough to break the defensive formation easily. Brother Lin Yi, Wang Ba has started to clear the passage to the inside. Should we go down? Han Jingjing had been paying attention to Wang Ba's actions, and she was quite satisfied with the efficiency of this primordial soul puppet. Yes, let's go down and have a look. Lin Yi nodded. Clearing the passage was not a troublesome task. He had already checked with his divine sense and found that the inside of the island had not collapsed. Therefore, it was much easier to enter than he had expected. The four of them got out of the UFO. After Lin Yi put it away, they walked down the passage that Wang Ba had cleared. If Wang Ba was alone, he wouldn't even need to clean up when he was in his primordial spirit state. He could go deep inside and retrieve the hidden Shenhai soul condensing fluid. Unfortunately, Lin Yi and Han Jingjing were following him, so Wang Ba didn't dare to make any sudden movements. He even wanted to hide in a place where he didn't want the concealment formation to be destroyed. Unfortunately, life doesn't always go according to plan. The last attack by the sea beasts had caused severe damage to the interior of the island. Although it didn't cause a large-scale collapse, some of the non-defensive formations that had been set up inside were inevitably abnormal. Among them was the concealment formation that Wang Ba wanted to hide the Shenhai soul condensing fluid. Not long after they entered the passage, Wang Ba's divine sense discovered that his treasure, the jade bottle of Shenhai soul condensing fluid, was completely exposed outside the concealment formation. Although it did not have an obvious aura, as long as his divine sense swept over, he would definitely discover it. Wang Ba's divine sense could detect the jade bottle, so could Lin Yi's divine sense. It was impossible to continue hiding. How lucky! Boss Lin Yi, Master, I suddenly remembered that I still have a bottle of Shenhai soul condensing liquid here. Just half of it will be enough for me to recover from my injuries and serve Boss Lin Yi and Master better. Of course, this Shenhai soul condensing liquid belongs to Boss and Master now. It's up to you to decide how to use it. Please wait a moment, I'll go get it right away. Wang Ba knew that it was impossible for him to hide the Shenhai soul condensing fluid in front of Lin Yi, so he decided to make it clear first. If he did that, Lin Yi and Han Jingjing would not want to take the jade bottle. Han Jingjing didn't know what the Shenhai soul condensing fluid was. She turned to look at Lin Yi with an inquiring look in her eyes. Anyway, as long as he was here, she could save time and effort, and she didn't need to make any decisions. Lin Yi nodded slightly at Han Jingjing with a knowing smile. It turned out that Wang Ba had been so secretive just for this bottle of Shenhai soul condensing fluid. To be honest, Lin Yi already had a lot of Shenhai soul condensing fluid, so it didn't matter if he had more or less. However, since Wang Ba wanted to play tricks, Lin Yi thought it would be good to play with him. That's fine. At least you have some filial piety. Go and get that small bottle. Lin Yi waved his hand casually. He didn't mention anything about healing half of his injuries. Instead, he followed Wang Ba's lead and took the Shenhai soul condensing fluid as his own. Bastard! You're really black-hearted and greedy. This is my Shenhai soul condensing fluid. Are you addicted to robbing others? Just you wait, don't let me get the chance. I'll definitely rob you of all your things. Wang Ba kept cursing in his heart. The smile on his face froze for a moment, but he soon recovered and continued to nod and bow. Boss Lin Yi, Master, please wait for a moment. I'll go and get it right away. Wang Ba's heart was bleeding, but he had to pretend that he was willing. With a swoosh, he passed through the stone wall and flew to the place where the jade bottle was hidden. With Han Jingjing watching, Lin Yi wasn't worried that this guy would hide anything. In fact, it was true. It wasn't that Wang Ba didn't think about using part of the jade bottle first, but no matter how much he wanted to use the Shenhai soul condensing fluid to recover his primordial spirit, he didn't dare to open the jade bottle secretly. After all, Lin Yi and Han Jingjing were watching him with their divine senses. If he wanted to die, he wouldn't have waited until now. After a while, Wang Ba returned to Lin Yi and the rest with the jade bottle in his hand. He presented the jade bottle to Lin Yi respectfully with both hands. Although Han Jingjing was his master, she obviously listened to Lin Yi, the bastard. Wang Ba knew that very well. Instead of pleasing Han Jingjing, it was better to please Lin Yi and make Han Jingjing happy. Boss Lin Yi, this is the Shenhai soul condensing fluid that I've been hiding. Please accept it. Wang Ba pretended to be in pain. If he was still happy, it would arouse Lin Yi's suspicion. In fact, Wang Ba didn't need to pretend. He was acting himself. He was really in pain. He only hoped that the bastard Lin Yi would be kind enough to share some of the Xianhai soul-condensing fluid with him. Very well, you did a good job. As a reward, I'll give you a drop of Xianhai soul-condensing fluid. If you perform well, we won't mistreat you. Lin Yi took the jade bottle and gave it to Wang Ba after thinking about it. He wanted to tease this guy, but Lin Yi didn't have much time, so he didn't want to waste it on such a boring thing. Therefore, he only gave Wang Ba a drop of Xianhai soul-condensing fluid as a punishment. If it wasn't for Wang Ba trying to play tricks on him, Lin Yi wouldn't have been so stingy. At the very least, he would have let Wang Ba recover his spirit first. Now, as he said, it all depended on his performance. Thank you, Boss Lin. I'll perform well. I won't let you and my master down. Wang Ba hurried to use the drop of Xianhai soul-condensing fluid. He was afraid that Lin Yi would go back on his words, so he kept thanking him. Although it was only one drop, it was still something. Moreover, the effect of this drop of Xianhai soul-condensing fluid was not inferior to that of the evil spirit king in the secular world, except that it didn't have any new skills. Wang Ba's mood improved a little as he felt that his soul's injuries were getting better. He looked at the jade bottle in Lin Yi's hand and thought to himself, I'll take it back with interest for now since I'm leaving it with you. Chapter 61-21. Soon, they arrived at the triangular stone room. Without Lin Yi's instruction, Wang Ba had already started to recreate the scene of teleporting using the miniature teleportation formation. However, the miniature teleportation formation was completely damaged. Time was one thing, but materials were another. Fortunately, Wang Ba's previous teleportation distance was very short, so it did not matter if he did not need the teleportation formation. With their combined efforts, a tunnel leading to the independent stone room was opened. According to Han Jingjing's estimation, if the wormhole crack was still here, it was most likely in this tunnel. Could this be the wormhole crack? Lin Yi brought everyone to the independent stone room. His divine sense scanned back and forth, and he finally found a trace of something. There was indeed a tiny space crack at the edge of the tunnel leading to the stone room. It was smaller than the most ordinary dust, let alone the wormhole exit in the center. Without divine senses, one would have to use a microscope to find it with the naked eye. It was no wonder that Lin Yi did not notice the crack at all. Strictly speaking, it was not a crack. After all, the hole formed by a needle would be bigger than this. If the miniature teleportation formation had not been overloaded and caused a crack in the space, this crack would probably never have been discovered. It should be. I didn't expect it to be so small. Han Jingjing went forward to observe it carefully with her divine senses. She then added, fortunately, it hasn't moved to another place. It seems to be a stable wormhole exit. It's stable, but what's the use of such a small wormhole exit? Do we have to make an overloaded miniature teleportation formation to open the crack every time? Lin Yi turned to look at Wang Ba as he spoke. He wondered if Wang Ba had the ability to make an array that could enlarge the wormhole crack. That damn thing could not do that for the time being. He did not know much about arrays related to teleportation. On the other hand, since Wang Ba could make a miniature teleportation formation, he was obviously very knowledgeable. Wang Ba was smart. He knew what to say with one look from Lin Yi. Boss Lin Yi, I can think of a way to make the wormhole crack bigger. As for the stability, you don't have to worry. It won't be any worse than the current situation. Wang Ba patted his chest confidently. If it were not for the experience of wandering in the wormhole, Wang Ba might not have dared to act so confidently. However, he was quite confident now. Are you sure? What materials do you need? Lin Yi smiled faintly. If Wang Ba could really do it, Han Jingjing would have found a treasure. Wang Ba smiled in satisfaction when he heard that. How could he miss such a good opportunity to raise the price? However, in order to gain the trust of Lin Yi and Han Jingjing and take the opportunity to lower their vigilance, the request could not be too outrageous. Since Boss Lin Yi mentioned it, I'll tell you what I need. First, high-level formation flags for setting up the formation. The ordinary formation flags we used earlier will do, but they'll be damaged very soon. They're far from enough to maintain the stability of the wormhole exit. If you don't have high-level formation flags, I'll gather some materials for refining formation flags. I can refine them myself. Wang Ba already knew that Lin Yi did not have high-level formation flags. Therefore, he did not wait for Lin Yi's reply and immediately listed a bunch of materials for refining weapons. Lin Yi nodded slightly. Those things were not rare. There were many refining materials in his spoils of war, so they were more than enough. Apart from that, Wang Ba would probably ask for something special. Lin Yi was well aware of that and was waiting for Wang Ba to mention it. Boss Lin Yi. Refining formation flags and setting up formations are very taxing on the mind and vitality. My primordial spirit is seriously damaged and I'm afraid I can't take it. If I can heal my primordial spirit first, it'll be fine. Wang Ba's eyes flickered. He was testing Lin Yi's bottom line. If Lin Yi was afraid of him, he might not let him fully recover. However, it was not a bad thing to recover part of his primordial spirit. Wang Ba had a good mentality. As long as there was progress, he would not mind. Once he had enough strength and confidence, he could kill Han Jingjing and take back control. Then, he could kill Lin Yi in a surprise attack. Everything would be perfect. You're right. Take these dark sea soul-condensing liquids to heal your injuries. As long as you're sincere, I won't let you suffer any losses. Lin Yi waved his hand and wrapped 12 drops of dark sea soul-condensing liquids with his vital qi, sending them to Wang Ba. According to his estimation, the amount was enough for Wang Ba to recover his primordial spirit. As for bargaining, he was too lazy to do that. After all, even if Wang Ba returned to his peak, he was still a primordial spirit. Lin Yi still had enough means to suppress Wang Ba, so there was no need to worry. Wang Ba was slightly stunned, then he was overjoyed. He did not expect Lin Yi to be so straightforward and give him enough dark sea soul-condensing liquids to recover his strength. However, on second thought, he realized that Lin Yi was looking down on him. Bastard! How dare you look down on me? I'll let you know what happens when you look down on me. Thank you, Boss Lin. Now there's no problem. Wang Ba grumbled in his heart, but he put on a bright smile. Then, he began to absorb the Xianhai soul-condensing liquid. Right now, only strength mattered. Once his primordial spirit recovered, he would have more leeway. Wang Ba soon refined the dark sea soul-condensing liquids, and the recovery of his primordial spirit was almost completed at a speed visible to the naked eye. In just a moment, his aura had skyrocketed several times. Boss Lin Yi, Master, I'm going to refine the formation flags now. Please wait for a moment. After recovering, Wang Ba laughed out loud as he picked up the storage pouch Lin Yi gave him. There were all kinds of formation materials in it. With that, he went back to the original stone room and went to another stone room with a foundry. He started crafting formation flags. Wang Ba's eyes lit up. They did not expect this guy to be a high-level blacksmith. However, normal formation masters could refine formation flags, so it was understandable. It was meaningless for them to wait here, so Lin Yi took out the flying saucer and asked Han Jingjing to send Tian Chan and Sydney back to Tiandan Pavilion to help Shang Wanyi set up the Chamber of Commerce. Meanwhile, he would keep an eye on Wang Ba. Formation flags were something he could use in the future, so there was no harm in learning more. Chapter 61-22. In Han Jingjing's eyes, the yellow level 5 automatic alchemy furnace from famous medicine sect was nothing. As long as she was willing, she could make a yellow level 7 or even mystic level 1 automatic alchemy furnace at any time. However, the materials for the alchemy furnace were a problem. Even if she made a few, it would not make much sense. Therefore, she decided to ignore it and upgrade Lin Yi's Shenong cauldron. She had never heard of a compound elixir like the regeneration pill before. Of course, she did not have the corresponding program to support it. Now that she had the elixir recipe and knew the principle behind it, it would not be a problem in the future as long as she updated it. Even if there was a higher level compound elixir, as long as it did not deviate from the path of the regeneration pill, she could refine it perfectly after a few attempts. 2 days later, Wang Ba completed the refining of the formation flags and the initial setting of the formation. Lin Yi did not intervene but watched his thoughts and techniques from the side, including the ghost thing. Both of them felt enlightened. It was not that Wang Ba's formation skills were better than the ghost thing's. In fact, the ghost thing was better. It was just that Wang Ba had a deeper understanding of using formations to affect space. After the formation was set up and successfully activated, the small wormhole crack that was like a speck of dust suddenly became a circular light hole as tall as a person. Milky white light swirled slowly in it like a vortex. Although he had not tried it, Lin Yi believed that it was a success this time. Han Jingjing had sensed it long ago and happened to arrive at this time. Seeing that the wormhole exit was opened, her face was filled with joy. Big brother Lin Yi, it worked. The exit of this wormhole is very stable and there are no signs of it moving. It's very suitable as our exclusive channel. Han Jingjing said as she took out many instruments and began to assemble them. She was a genius in this aspect. Be it Lin Yi or Wang Ba, they could not interfere at all. In just a few minutes, a bunch of high-tech products filled the space around the wormhole. Han Jingjing did not have the time to talk to Lin Yi. She focused on operating the computer quickly. Wang Ba looked at Han Jingjing and then at Lin Yi. He had recovered his strength. If there was a chance, he could try to deal with Han Jingjing. Unfortunately, he was not confident since Lin Yi was here, so he could only endure it. Well, I can't help much here. Boss Lin Yi, why don't I go out and rearrange the formation on the island? Isn't it important to strengthen the defense here? Wang Ba smiled embarrassedly. He thought it would be great if he could send Lin Yi away. Even if it was just for a few breaths' time, he would have a chance to kill Han Jingjing. The reason why he suggested to set up the formation was to retreat in order to advance. Lin Yi's obsession with formation was no less than Wang Ba's. Therefore, he felt that there was a high chance that Lin Yi would follow him out. As long as he could sneak back, Han Jingjing, who was busy with the technological products, might not even have the thought of resisting and would be devoured by him directly. Lin Yi looked at Han Jingjing's computer screen. He really could not understand what was displayed on it. He could not help even if he wanted to. In that case, it was more appropriate for him to set up the defense formation on the island. After all, with the wormhole exit, this place would become an extremely important stronghold. The defense could not be careless. Let's go. I'll go with you. Apart from the defense formation, we need to set up some killing formations and illusion formations. We must make this place an impregnable fortress. Lin Yi smiled faintly and went out first. Wang Ba was secretly delighted. This was the effect he wanted. As long as Lin Yi left, he would have a chance to come back and kill Han Jingjing without anyone noticing. No problem. Boss Lin Yi, don't worry. This is a piece of cake. If we work together to set up the formation, this island will definitely be impregnable. Even if there's a sea monster tide, they won't be able to break through our defense formation. Wang Ba patted his chest and said confidently. It did not matter if what he said was true or not. Anyway, he just needed to satisfy Lin Yi first. After setting up the formation, Wang Ba was constantly looking for a chance to sneak back. However, he realized that Lin Yi's divine sense had not relaxed at all. Lin Yi was monitoring his movements almost the entire time. It did not seem to be as easy as he had imagined to find Han Jingjing. Forget it, forget it. Let's wait a little longer. I heard that this B** star is going to the South Continent soon. As long as he leaves the Middle Island, there'll be plenty of opportunities to deal with that little girl. There's no need to rush. Wang Ba did not realize that it was getting easier and easier for him to compromise with himself. Unknowingly, he had already lost his drive and became overcautious. He wanted to wait for a sure chance to strike. Unfortunately, how could there be anything in this world that was guaranteed to succeed? After the two of them set up the formation on the island again, Han Jingjing was almost done with her tests. Brother Lin Yi, come quickly. Jingjing has fixed the coordinates of this exit. Now it's the real wormhole tunnel that can be used. From now on, the wormhole exit in the center of Heaven Stage Island will no longer be the only one that can be used. Han Jingjing let out a small cheer when she saw Lin Yi, jogging over to grab Lin Yi's hand as if she was waiting for him to praise her. Jingjing is amazing. If the center finds out, they'll probably vomit blood out of anger. Lin Yi smiled. Naturally, he would not be stingy with his praise. However, he immediately thought of the exit in the secular world and quickly asked, what about the secular world? If we share the same exit with the center, we can't hide the situation here, right? Also, how can we ensure that we'll be teleported here and not to the center when we teleport things? Brother Linny, don't worry. Jing Jing has already considered this problem. At this stage, if we want to teleport to this exit, we can only set up a divine sense mark here. Then, when we teleport to the secular world, we can use this divine sense mark as the target. Han Jingjing looked a little proud. Obviously, she had already expected Lin Yi's problem, so she had thought of a solution in advance. From what you said, apart from the current stage, there's a second stage. Lin Yi was naturally very confident in Han Jingjing's ability. If there was no problem with the teleportation target, this matter was basically settled. Therefore, he was more interested in the other information in Han Jingjing's words. Chapter 61-23. The more difficult the research, the more interested Han Jingjing was. Just the thought of destroying the wormhole's exit was enough to excite her. Is it possible to do that? Lin Yi could not help but be surprised. If it was possible, the development of the center would definitely slow down by more than half. This was even more impressive than destroying one or two of the center's bases. Theoretically, it's possible. Brother Lin Yi, just do what you need to do. I'll definitely think of a way. Han Jingjing clenched her fists to encourage herself. She also showed Lin Yi that she was very confident. Master is so powerful. You'll definitely succeed. Boss Lin Yi, you should believe in my master. Don't worry, I'm here to help my master. Anything will be taken care of. If there's anything you need to do, just do it. Wang Ba flattered Han Jingjing at the right time. Then, intentionally or unintentionally, he urged Lin to leave this place as soon as possible. Only when Lin Yi left and Han Jingjing was alone would he have the chance to take back the control hub of the primordial spirit and devour Han Jingjing. Wang Ba's initial desire for revenge had turned into a purposeful desire to merge with Han Jingjing. The evil spirit king had given him the ability to devour, but Han Jingjing had displayed another talent that he had never known about. To be honest, Wang Ba was very interested in Han Jingjing's ability. Therefore, he wanted to try merging with her. Perhaps he could obtain Han Jingjing's heaven-defying wisdom and use it to dominate the world. It did not seem impossible. Lin ignored Wang Ba and turned to look at the wormhole. He pondered for a moment and said, "Should I get someone to inform the secular world personally? At least let them know how to teleport here. Just get Wang Ba to go. Brother Lin Yi, do you have a photo of Brother Dafeng and the rest? Show it to Wang Ba and ask him to contact Lai Chang'e and the rest. I've already set up the divine sense mark here. It'll be easy for them to operate." Han Jingjing waved her hand indifferently. These were trivial matters. Anyway, it was not the first time Wang Ba's primordial spirit had entered the wormhole. It was definitely not a problem for him to be a messenger. Wang Ba's face darkened. He was not interested in going back and forth through the wormhole. It was a waste of time. However, since Han Jingjing had spoken, it was a done deal. No matter how unwilling he was, he did not dare to object. That makes sense. I think Wang Ba is very suitable. Let's do it this way. Lin Yi nodded with a smile and took out a smartphone from the space in the jade pendant. He opened the photo album and showed Wang Ba the photos of the people in the secular world. Wang Ba forced a fake smile and looked at the photos respectfully. He patted his chest and said, "Boss Lin Yi Master, don't worry. Leave this to me. I'll definitely do a good job. Isn't it just going back and forth to the secular world? It's no big deal. Wait for me, I'll be back soon." After saying that, Wang Ba turned around and floated toward the wormhole. These two bastards don't even want to discuss things with me. How unruly. I won't argue with you for now. I'll deal with you when I'm back. Knowing that he could not refuse, Wang Ba did not bother to say anything. He rushed into the wormhole and began a new teleportation. Han Jingjing could observe carefully this time and estimate the time needed for the teleportation. Jingjing, this 10,000-year-old tortoise is very cunning. Are you sure you can control him completely? Lin Yi asked thoughtfully as he watched Wang Ba disappear into the wormhole. On the surface, Wang Ba seemed to be quite cooperative. However, Lin Yi was still not very confident in him. He felt that this guy would not surrender so easily. He was the same type of person as Yu from the ancient underworld. This kind of person was different from the other subordinates. They used to stand at the top of the heavenly stage island. They would not surrender easily. After all, they once had glory. How could they compromise so easily? However, it was not a big deal to Lin Yi whether he could control Wang Ba or not. After all, it was a piece of cake for him to kill Wang Ba. The key was Han Jingjing's safety. If he was not 100% sure that Han Jingjing could suppress Wang Ba, he would rather not have this primordial soul puppet. Brother Lin Yi, don't worry. I know Wang Ba isn't being honest, but it's not that easy for him to deal with me. As long as I have a little time to react, I can kill him directly. Han Jingjing was very happy with Lin Yi's concern. As for the threat that Wang Ba might pose, she did not take it to heart. What if he doesn't even give you a little time to react? Lin Yi frowned slightly. That was a huge loophole. With the strength of Wang Ba's primordial soul, if he launched a sneak attack when Han Jingjing was unprepared, she might not even have the time to react. Actually, the primordial soul hub that controls Wang Ba is also integrated with Jingjing's primordial soul, so it can't be separated from me at all. If something happens to me, he will die with me. If he's killed by someone else, my primordial soul will also suffer a certain degree of backlash. If not for that, Jingjing would have transferred the control of Wang Ba to Lin Yi a long time ago. Han Jingjing became slightly more serious. The method she used to control Wang Ba came from the evil spirit warlocks in Europe in the secular world. It was impossible that there were no restrictions, but overall, she still had an advantage as the controller. For example, the previous 3 ghost warlocks, after the evil spirits they raised were destroyed, their souls would also suffer a backlash, but because their strength was too low, it wasn't too obvious. If Han Jingjing had ignored the evil spirit and directly killed the 3 ghost warlocks, then the evil spirit they raised would have vanished into thin air at the same time as the owner's death. Han Jingjing had only figured out the situation not long ago, but Wang Ba did not know anything at all. Even if he knew, he probably would not let it go. After a short pause, Han Jingjing added, "When Wang Ba comes back, I'll explain the situation to him. If he knows that I'll die if something happens to me, I guess he won't have any evil thoughts." You're underestimating Wang Ba. He won't believe what you say. He might even think that you're just scaring him and make up his mind to attack you. To be safe, just kill him if anything goes wrong. Don't hesitate. To Lin Yi, 100 Wang Bas were not even worth a strand of Han Jingjing's hair. It would be fine if nothing happened, but if something really did happen, he would not show mercy. Chapter 61-24. That good? It turned into a spirit defense tool? Lin Yi was finally relieved. As long as Han Jingjing had time to react when she was ambushed, Wang Ba would not be able to overturn the situation. He would have to wait for his next life. As for the armor that turned into a spirit defense tool, Lin Yi was quite interested. Could the wormhole have the ability to make such tools? If he could replicate the process, the safety of the people around him would be greatly improved. I'll let Jingjing study it and make one for big brother Lin Yi. Han Jingjing wanted to give her armor to Lin Yi, but it was connected to her spirit, so she could not take it off. In other words, the spirit defense tool made this way would recognize its owner directly. There was no hope of mass-producing it and selling it. He could not let these people go on a one-day trip to the wormhole, could he? The two chatted for a while. Since Wang Ba would not threaten Han Jingjing, Lin Yi was much more relaxed. The Shenong cauldron had been upgraded, but he did not attempt to refine pills right away. It was rare for him to be alone with Han Jingjing, and there was nothing special going on. How could he waste time? The pleasant conversation lasted for half an hour. Both of them felt that time passed in a flash, and Wang Ba returned to Heavenly Island from the secular world within half an hour. Boss Lin Yi, Master, I'm glad I didn't let you down. I've already contacted your people over there. Doffing happened to be at the entrance of the wormhole today. After a secret conversation with him, we've agreed on a time to try teleporting things over. Wang Ba did not seem to feel any discomfort from teleporting. He came to the two of them proudly as soon as he came out. However, there was still a hint of regret in his eyes when he looked at Lin Yi. Why was this B** still standing here? Didn't he say he was in a hurry to go to South Continent? He only knew how to hang around girls all day. What a good-for-nothing. When did you agree on a time to try teleporting? Lin Yi could not be bothered with Wang Ba's thoughts. He was only concerned about the teleportation ability of the wormhole. Although Wang Ba had personally tried to connect this place to the secular world, primordial spirit and items were obviously different. Whether Han Jingjing's setup was really successful or not depended on her next attempt. Dafeng said that it will start 10 minutes after I leave. The first time, it will send a mobile phone, the second time, a laptop, the third time. What are these things? Wang Ba's loyal incarnation was a repeater. Apart from the last sentence, Dafeng's meaning was conveyed very well. Sending the designated items 3 times was obviously to ensure that there would be no mistakes in the middle. If the 3 items were not received, or if they were received in the wrong order, it meant that there was a problem. It was temporarily not suitable to send large quantities of items, especially important items. If the order of the items was correct after 3 tries, it was basically certain that the wormhole tunnel could be used, and the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce's supply would be guaranteed. You've done a good job. You've worked hard this time. Go take a rest. We'll talk after the items are sent from the secular world. Lin Yi waved his hand to get Wang Ba to stay at the side. He then turned around to chat with Han Jingjing. The corner of Wang Ba's mouth twitched imperceptibly. He almost could not hold back his anger. What's with this B*****'s attitude? I've worked hard, and you're just going to dismiss me with a wave of your hand? Shouldn't you at least give me a few drops of Xianhai soul-condensing liquid as a reward? Stingy B*****. I would have killed you if I could beat you both. Wang Ba, who was indignant, did not dare to object. He floated to the side obediently and continued cursing Lin Yi and Han Jingjing in his heart. However, he still maintained a bright smile on his face. It was really hard on him. A few minutes later, the light vortex at the wormhole's exit spun several times faster. An item the size of a palm flew out with a swoosh. Lin Yi waved his hand and easily changed the item's flight path so that it fell into his palm unscathed. First time a cell phone. Seems like there's a high chance of success. Lin Yi and Han Jingjing looked at each other and smiled. If there was no problem the first time, it was basically half a success. They turned on the cell phone's power supply. The teleportation did not affect the item's function. Soon, they entered the operation interface. Lin Yi found the video playback, and there was indeed a video recorded by Brother Dafeng. Boss Lin Yi, if you see this video, remember to reply to me. By the way, we all miss you. Come back and see us when you're free. At the end of the video, Brother Dafeng even winked at Lin Yi with a knowing expression. Lin Yi could not help but smile. This Brother Dafeng was really meticulous. He did things flawlessly. This small video let Lin Yi confirm that this cell phone was part of the plan. Secondly, even if it was teleported to the center, it would not arouse their suspicions. No wonder he could be an undercover for so long and was getting better and better. If it were not for the immemorial underworld base incident, he might not have been exposed until now. Big Brother Lin Yi, Brother Dafeng is really a good talent. Although Jingjing gave him a detailed method, he was able to accurately complete the teleportation in such a short time. He is also very good. If there's a chance in the future, bring him to Heaven Island. Maybe he can play a bigger role. Han Jingjing praised Brother Dafeng with a smile. With the deepening of the research on the wormhole, it was very likely that they could complete the teleportation in the future. At that time, it would be very convenient to travel between Heaven Island and the secular world. You're right. Brother Dafeng is indeed a talent. It would be good to have him come to Heaven Island to help if there's a chance. Lin Yi smiled slightly, nodded slightly, and deleted the video. After the third teleportation was completed, Lin Yi would teleport the cell phone back to the secular world. It was not convenient for him to record a reply video, as it would easily expose the wormhole. With Brother Dafeng's intelligence, he would immediately know what Lin Yi meant when he saw the missing video. No reply was actually the best reply. A few minutes later, the flow of light at the exit that had calmed down doubled again, and a laptop flew out. This time, Brother Dafeng did not attach any additional information. If Lin Yi did not receive the cell phone the first time, it would be equivalent to the attempt failing, and it would be meaningless to say anything else. If Lin Yi received the cell phone, There was naturally no need to say anything the second time. Chapter 61:25. Finally, the AK-47 was teleported over a few minutes later. Linny did not know what use it had. No matter how weak the cultivators on Heavenly Island were, they would not be afraid of AK-47 bullets, unless they were ordinary people who could not cultivate at all. However, they could easily kill ordinary people with just a slap. Who would carry an AK-47 with them? I guess it's used by the guards at the exit. Big Brother Dafeng probably used it as a test subject. Han Jingjing guessed with a smile. It didn't matter whether it was true or not. Anyway, after 3 experiments, she could already confirm that the wormhole passageway connecting Heavenstage Island to the secular world would officially become 2 from today onwards. Perhaps it would become 1 again soon, but the one that would disappear would definitely be the one at the center. I'll go back to Middle Island immediately and ask Tian Chan to arrange the opening of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Although we have our own wormhole exit, we still have to use it at the center for a while, lest they suspect where our goods from the secular world came from. Lin Yi was ready to return to Middle Island after he teleported his phone back to the secular world. Han Jingjing still needed to stay here for some follow-up adjustments, so Lin Yi could only go back first. They did not mention Wang Ba, as if they had forgotten about him. Wang Ba was secretly delighted. He did not notice anything wrong and even secretly prayed that Lin Yi and the rest would not suddenly think of him. After Lin Yi left, it would be time for him to make a move on Han Jingjing. However, Wang Ba did not consider whether this was just a test for him. Although Lin Yi and Han Jingjing did not say it out loud, their minds were connected. One look was enough to understand each other's thoughts. In addition, they had already discussed Wang Ba's matter, so it was necessary to test Wang Ba's loyalty. Han Jingjing and Lin Yi had a tacit understanding. Even if it was a whim, she could understand it immediately. Since Big Brother Lin Yi wanted to test Wang Ba, then let him do it. It was not a big deal. Jing, Dafeng should be sending a large amount of goods over in a while. Take this storage ring first. It will be easier to load the goods when the time comes. Lin Yi thought of the storage ring he snatched from the extreme North Island. It was quite suitable for transporting goods, so he took it out and gave it to Han Jingjing. This added fuel to the fire in Wang Ba's heart. Even a tortoise like Wang Ba would rarely see a storage ring. Otherwise, he would have kept all his creation battle arts and myriad amplification formation in his storage ring. As expected, Wang Ba's eyes lit up when he saw the storage ring Lin Yi took out. Although he hid it immediately, the fire in his heart could not be extinguished. A storage ring. Even 10,000 years ago, it was not something that just anyone could possess. Indeed, Wang Ba had his eyes on the storage ring at first glance. However, Lin Yi, who had given him the storage ring so casually, made him feel even more mysterious. This B** starred is so generous. It looks like he has a lot of good stuff. I can't let this big fish go. Lin Yi scanned Wang Ba with his divine sense and sneered in his heart. Instead of burying this time bomb next to Han Jingjing, it was better to detonate it as soon as possible. Lin Yi believed that Han Jingjing was not afraid of Wang Ba's sneak attack. However, he had to be on guard. What if Wang Ba colluded with outsiders to set Han Jingjing up? Therefore, he had to light a fire in Wang Ba's heart. If he could not control himself and jumped out, he would be roasted on the fire. If he really dared to hurt Han Jingjing, Lin Yi would never let him go. Han Jingjing took the storage ring without hesitation and looked at it with great interest. She did not care how precious this thing was. It was a gift from Big Brother Lin Yi, and it was a ring. It would be strange if she did not accept it. Of course, Han Jingjing was more interested in how to make a storage ring. In fact, she had done some research in this area. For example, Lin Yi's flying saucer also used space technology. It was just that it had not reached the level of a storage ring. If she studied it later, she might be able to mass-produce storage rings. Not only would it be convenient for her people to carry things, it could also be the flagship product of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Each of them could be sold at a sky-high price. I'll leave first. It won't take long to go to the Middle Island. I'll be back soon after I make the arrangements. Lin Yi waved his hand with a smile. Han Jingjing nodded and watched him leave through the passage. Wang Ba, go to the secular world again and tell Brother Dafeng that we can start sending the resources. After Lin Yi entered the passage and left, Han Jingjing suddenly asked Wang Ba to go to the wormhole again without warning. Wang Ba, who was calculating how long it would take for Lin Yi to leave the island, was slightly stunned. He wanted to reject it instinctively, but Lin Yi was still in the passage and could turn back at any time. It did not seem right to reject Han Jingjing's order. Yes, master. I'll go right away. Various thoughts flashed through Wang Ba's mind, but he did not hesitate at all on the surface. He simply agreed and entered the wormhole. As soon as he entered the wormhole, Wang Ba snickered in his heart. Hee hee, you little girl. You want to send me away? Do you think you'll be fine just like that? Have you forgotten that entering the wormhole does not necessarily mean that you will be sent back? It was not difficult for Wang Ba to leave the passage. Soon, he left the passage and began wandering in the wormhole. With Lin Yi's speed, it would not take long for him to leave the island. Therefore, Wang Ba felt that he could turn around and catch Han Jingjing off guard if he waited a little longer. However, he did not know that Lin Yi had already returned to where he was when he entered the wormhole. He looked at Han Jingjing with appreciation and did not say anything. He took out a level 8 concealment formation board and placed it in a corner. He hid after concealing his aura. Initially, Lin Yi wanted to pretend to leave and sneak back. He did not expect Han Jingjing to be so smart as to send Wang Ba into the wormhole. Although he could observe the situation outside from the wormhole, he could not use his divine consciousness to sense the moment he entered. Therefore, Wang Ba did not realize that Lin Yi had taken the opportunity to return. As for whether the level 8 concealment formation board could fool Wang Ba, Lin Yi was not worried at all. That was because Wang Ba's formation was different from the formation board. Wang Ba was better at formations in other aspects. Since Lin Yi had improved the concealment formation board, it would not be a problem for him to fool Wang Ba for a short period of time. Chapter 61-26. At this moment, Han Jingjing was studying the storage ring Lin Yi gave her with all her attention. She turned her back towards the entrance of the wormhole without any precaution. Wang Ba grinned wickedly. He fully activated the Devour ability. As long as he could enter Han Jingjing's body, he would be able to control her spirit in an instant. Once he took back the control hub of the primordial spirit, it would be up to him whether he wanted to turn Han Jingjing into a primordial spirit puppet or take over her body. Unfortunately, the reality was harsh. Wang Ba thought he could enter Han Jingjing's body effortlessly, but he could not even get close to her skin. An illusory armor automatically appeared on the surface of Han Jingjing's body, blocking Wang Ba, who was rushing toward her. He could not get close to her. He had miscalculated. This little girl actually had an armor that could protect her primordial spirit. She was King tricking him. Wang Ba was shocked. Although the armor was shaking under the impact, it was impossible for Han Jingjing not to feel it. As a primordial spirit puppet, of course, he knew that his master could turn him into ashes with just a thought. Should he continue attacking or stop and admit his mistake? Should he fool her this time and find another chance? Before Wang Ba could figure it out, a bolt of lightning appeared out of nowhere and struck his primordial spirit, making him feel like his soul was about to leave his body. This B***starred was also hiding there? The two of you really teamed up to trick me. What the F***ck? Was there any justice in this world? Wang Ba wanted to cry but had no tears. He was caught off guard by the bolt of lightning and was immediately seriously injured. His primordial spirit, which had been repaired with the Xianhai soul-condensing liquid, became illusory again. Boss Lin Yi Master, this is a misunderstanding, a huge misunderstanding. Wang Ba shouted. Although he was just a primordial spirit, his voice sounded hoarse. Lin Yi had already appeared next to Han Jingjing like a ghost. He smirked at Wang Ba. He could have attacked the moment Wang Ba appeared, but Han Jingjing wanted to test the defensibility of the armor. In addition, Wang Ba did not intend to kill her at first. Instead, he wanted to enter Han Jingjing's body, so he waited. However, that was all. Lin Yi would never give Wang Ba a second chance. If it were not for the fact that Han Jingjing's primordial spirit would suffer a backlash if he killed the B***starred, Wang Ba would not even have the chance to speak. Han Jingjing slowly turned around and nodded with a faint smile. Is it a misunderstanding? Then why don't you explain it and see what kind of misunderstanding it is? Big brother Lin Yi was right. This 10,000-year tortoise is an ingrate. I really have to be wary of him in the future. Even though Han Jingjing was sure that Wang Ba wanted to kill her, she did not plan to kill him just like that. After all, he was a powerful primordial spirit. He could still be useful after she subdued him. Thank you, Master. I'll explain this misunderstanding right away. Wang Ba bowed gratefully and thanked her. At the same time, he was thinking about how he could come up with a reasonable explanation to fool her. However, before he could come up with an explanation, Lin Yi had lost his patience. Another bolt of lightning flashed and tore a small part of Wang Ba's primordial spirit. It was completely annihilated. The heart-wrenching pain almost made Wang Ba scream. Boss Lin, let's talk this out. Let's talk this out. Wang Ba forced a smile and begged for mercy as he endured the pain in his primordial spirit. What else is there to talk about? Lin Yi smiled faintly. Another bolt of lightning flashed. Since he could not kill this B***** right away, he might as well let him suffer a little first. Big brother Lin Yi, don't be too angry. I'm fine. Moreover, if he dies accidentally, Jingjing's primordial spirit will suffer a backlash. Han Jingjing shook Lin Yi's arm. She looked like she was pleading for Wang Ba, but she was actually revealing some information to Wang Ba. If I die, this little girl will suffer a backlash? If she dies, what will happen to me? Although Wang Ba was in great pain, he did not miss out on any information. Han Jingjing's words flashed through his mind, and he more or less understood what she meant. Then, his expression became more and more terrible. It seemed like he had suffered for nothing. If he could not seize the control hub of her primordial spirit in the future, he would have to risk his life to protect this little girl. Otherwise, if she died, he would have to die with her. I'm not angry anymore, but this guy needs to be taught a lesson. Don't worry, he won't die. Lin Yi raised his hand with a smile. After another bolt of lightning fell, he stopped punishing Wang Ba in satisfaction. At that moment, Wang Ba had returned to the state before he merged with the evil Spirit King. Even if Han Jingjing did not control the hub, she could easily crush him. It was a pity that the dozen drops of Xianhai soul-condensing liquid were wasted because of Wang Ba's momentary mistake. Fortunately, Lin Yi still had a lot of them, so he did not feel bad about it. 10,000-year-old tortoise, you can tell me what the misunderstanding is now. Lin Yi smiled faintly. After this lesson, if Wang Ba still refused to submit, then he would continue to teach him a lesson. Boss Lin Yi, Master, I was wrong. There was no misunderstanding. I deserve to die. I promise there won't be a next time. Can you be magnanimous and forgive me this time? Wang Ba pulled a long face and did not try to quibble. None of them were fools. They all knew what was going on. If he continued to talk nonsense, he would only be asking for trouble. Jingjing, this is your primordial spirit puppet. You can decide what to do with it. I won't care. Lin ignored Wang Ba. Although this guy was beaten up badly, it would not be easy for him to admit his mistake. Since Wang Ba was no longer a threat, Lin Yi simply left it to Han Jingjing to decide. Wang Ba squeezed out a flattering smile, but he was still cursing in his heart. You B****, why did you hit me so hard when you knew I was that little girl's primordial spirit puppet? You said you wouldn't interfere after you had your fun. Don't you have any shame? Go ahead, brother Lin. I'll continue to teach him a lesson. Han Jingjing smiled sweetly, telling Lin Yi not to worry. She even waved her little fist at Wang Ba. Wang Ba was even more embarrassed, looking as if he knew he was in the wrong and wanted the bastard to leave as soon as possible. Wang Ba couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart whenever Lin Yi was here. Lin Yi stared at Wang Ba coldly and said a few words to Han Jingjing. Then he turned around and left. He really needed to make arrangements for Middle Island. He would see if Wang Ba was obedient later. If not, he would continue to teach him a lesson. Chapter 61-27. Back in Middle Island, the Central Chamber of Commerce had just delivered the goods that Lin Yi had asked the secular world to prepare. Although they knew that it was to compete with the Central Chamber of Commerce, they didn't dare to do anything. Zhong Pinliang was in charge of the Central Chamber of Commerce in Middle Island, so he wouldn't make things difficult for this batch of goods. Anyway, the higher-ups had instructed them not to provoke Lin Yi for the time being, so he only needed to do as he was told. Brother Lin, the preparations for the Chamber of Commerce are almost done. We can open for business at any time. This batch of goods came just in time. When do you think we should open for business? Shang Wani's face was flushed, and he came over to greet Lin Yi as soon as he saw him return. With the secular world's goods as the main products for the low and middle end, and high-level elixirs as the top products for the high end, the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce had already possessed the characteristics of a successful Chamber of Commerce from the very beginning. As the president of the Chamber of Commerce that was handpicked by Lin Yi, Shang Wani not only felt exhilarated, but also had the freedom to display his talents and ambitions at will. From this point of view, he should really thank the Universal Chamber of Commerce. Without their pressure, how could there be the current Shang Wani? The only thing that worried Shang Wani was Tian Chan and Sydney. After all, the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce had merged with the original Tiandan Pavilion, and the two of them were not only the managers of the original Tiandan Pavilion, but also Lin Yi's women. If they held them back, he would inevitably be restrained no matter how capable he was. It wasn't that Shang Wani looked down on Tian Chan and Sydney, but the two of them really didn't have much business talent. The Tiandan Pavilion was completely supported by Lin Yi's elixirs. Tian Chan's alchemy skills were also good, but there were many that were about the same level as her. At least, the medicine sect was enough to suppress Tian Chan. With the support of Lin Yi's elixirs, and the help of the acting owner of Middle Island, Okuda, and the deputy owner of the Will of Heaven, Tiandan Pavilion could only barely tie with the medicine sect. When it came to business, Shang Wani indeed had the right to look down on the two of them. Brother Shang, you have full control of the Chamber of Commerce. If you need me to do anything, just let me know. After you decide on the opening time, use our name to invite the famous people of Central Island. You must spread the name of the Heavenly Pill Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. As for the various business operations after the opening, I won't interfere. You'll have to worry about it. Lin Yi smiled slightly and directly expressed his trust in Shang Wani. He also made it clear that he wanted to be a hands-off boss. After a slight pause, Lin Yi continued, and Tian Chan and Sydney, they won't be in charge of the external affairs of the Chamber of Commerce from now on. I'll let them be in charge of the logistics of the Chamber of Commerce, so that they don't have to show up in public all the time. To be honest, these two girls aren't very good at doing business, so you'll have a hard time in the future. You'd better be mentally prepared. I understand. Thank you, Brother Lin. Shang Wani was silent for a while and then nodded hard. He had been in the business world for so many years, so he naturally knew that Lin Yi wanted to delegate all the power to him. He didn't even arrange any checks and balances. As a superior, this approach was very undesirable. But as a person, Shang Wani was full of gratitude for Lin Yi's absolute trust in him. Putting aside the life-saving grace, just for this heavy trust, it was enough for Shang Wani to go through fire and water to repay Lin Yi without any hesitation. We're all on the same side. You don't have to be so polite in the future. Lin Yi waved his hand casually and continued, Brother Shang, I have something to do in South Continent. So please arrange the opening of the Chamber of Commerce as soon as possible. Don't worry about the subsequent supply of goods. After these things are arranged, I'll set off. But the preparations for the opening are almost done. We can open as soon as tomorrow. Today, I'll send an invitation to each important person in Middle Island. Then, I'll arrange the goods showcases. It'll probably be done before dark. Shang Wani nodded and didn't say any more words of gratitude. He immediately got into his role and came up with the fastest plan. Then, let's set it for tomorrow. If there's anything you need me to do, Brother Shang, just let me know. Lin Yi was satisfied with the timing. After everything was done tomorrow, he could rush to South Continent. He didn't know if Languza had made any progress in South Continent. Shang Wani hesitated for a while. Although Lin Yi said that he was in charge of the Chamber of Commerce, it was Lin Yi's property after all. Some decisions should be made by the owner. Brother Lin, about the pricing of the goods, I still want to ask your opinion. I've seen the goods sent by the Central Chamber of Commerce this time. It's basically similar to what they sell. Is the price the same as theirs? Or is it slightly cheaper? In fact, Shangwani wanted to ask if they should sell it at a higher price. After all, it was from the Central Chamber of Commerce. Wouldn't the purchase cost be higher? However, if the price was higher than the Central Chamber of Commerce, then the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce would have no advantage at all. The Central Chamber of Commerce already had the absolute upper hand. In the case of the same quality, there was no advantage in the price. Lin Yi pinched his chin. He knew that the goods sent by Brother Dafeng should be of a higher grade than the Central Chamber of Commerce. After all, the goods sent by the Central Chamber of Commerce were all obsolete goods. It was to save money. Anyway, it was the same on Heaven Stage Island. It was the same on the other hand. The spiritual herbs and so on that the Central Chamber of Commerce sent to the secular world were the lowest grade goods on Heaven Stage Island. However, they became extremely precious spiritual herbs in the secular world. It was through this method that the Central Chamber of Commerce could maintain the momentum of rapid development in both worlds. If Lin Yi wanted to surpass the Central Chamber of Commerce, the quality must first be better than theirs. However, Lin Yi understood this in his heart, but Shangwani did not know that in the eyes of the people on Heaven Stage Island, there was not much difference between obsolete goods and mainstream goods. In the end, it still depended on the price. As for the pricing, refer to the Central Chamber of Commerce's similar goods first. In the first few days of opening, you can give a discount based on this price. You can control the specific operation yourself. Lin Yi did not give too many instructions. As long as the goods could be distributed, people would soon realize that the quality of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce was better. At that time, the reputation of the Chamber of Commerce would naturally increase. When the two sides engaged in a quality upgrade war, Lin Yi's goal would almost be achieved. The Central Chamber of Commerce's procurement cost would increase, and the development funds would decrease. Then he would start a price war. It did not matter if everyone could not make money, because his need for funds was far less urgent than the Central Chamber of Commerce. At most, he could take out some high-grade medicinal pills to auction. Chapter 61-28. These plans had not yet taken shape, and Lin Yi did not intend to tell Shangwani. The Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce could develop according to the normal route for the time being. Understood. I'll go arrange the opening and the invitation list first. Shangwani nodded, smiled, and said goodbye to Lin Yi before turning around to do his work. Lin Yi set the tone, and Shangwani only needed to follow this direction. He believed that he would not let Lin Yi down. Shangwani was very efficient. Before dark, the ground floor of the Tiandan Pavilion had been rearranged. The originally empty hall was filled with all kinds of goods from the secular world, and they were arranged in an orderly manner. There was no sense of disorder at all. In addition, after the list of people to be invited was sent to Lin Yi for review, the invitations were immediately sent out. Basically, they covered all the well-known figures in Middle Island. More than half of them replied on the spot, saying that they would definitely attend the opening ceremony of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce tomorrow. Lin Yi was very satisfied with Shangwani. Seeing that there was nothing else, he simply returned to the island and accompanied Han Jingjing to study the wormhole. At the same time, he received the goods sent by Brother Dafeng. After Wang Ba was beaten back to his original state, he finally became completely obedient. This time, he really did not dare to go east or west, and he did not dare to stand when asked to squat down. Lin Yi was afraid that he would die, so he gave him a drop of Xianhai soul-condensing liquid to stabilize his injury. The next morning, Lin Yi returned to Middle Island to attend the opening ceremony of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Although the representative of the Chamber of Commerce was President Shangwani, the people in the upper echelons of Middle Island all knew who the master behind the scenes was, so he still had to appear. Master Lin, congratulations. Your business is booming. Please take care of me in the future. Brother Lin, you're really fast. You've already opened a Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations, Brother Lin, with your participation, the competition will be even more intense in the future. But I still have to congratulate you. I wish you a prosperous business and a lot of money. Congratulations, Master Lin. People from all walks of life came to congratulate. Those who were close to him called him Brother Lin, and those who weren't close to him called him Master Lin. On the contrary, no one called him Young Hero Lin. From this, it could be seen that Lin Yi's status in Middle Island was indeed different from the past. Okuda State had come, and so had Okuda Dam. The Pill Hall had been represented by Hou Guanqi, and Kai Zhongyang had also come to congratulate them on behalf of the Five Elements Chamber of Commerce. Just this small detail showed that the higher-ups of the Five Elements Chamber of Commerce wanted to form an alliance with the Heavenly Dan Pavilion. Other than these friendly forces, the Central Chamber of Commerce also sent a congratulatory gift. However, it wasn't convenient for Zhong Pingliang to visit them directly, and Kong Mingming didn't want to see Lin Yi's success either. So, he only sent a normal representative. Hong's Chamber of Commerce, which had been fighting with the Central Chamber of Commerce recently, also sent someone to congratulate them. After all, Lin Yi had the title of Honorary Vice President of Hong's Chamber of Commerce. However, Lin didn't know this person. He didn't know which faction he was from, so he just greeted him. Wei Shenjin's identity in Snow Sword Sect could be represented, but as Lin Yi's follower, he came early to help out. In order to show how much they valued Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce, Snow Sword Sect still sent an elder to congratulate them. Boss, our Snow Sword Sect's leader asked me to pass a message. This time, she really can't leave, so she can't come in person. She's very sorry. Wei Shenjin was busy and suddenly remembered this matter. He quickly went to Lin Yi and explained in a low voice. It's okay, it's just a small matter. Lin Yi smiled faintly and waved his hand indifferently, signaling him to continue greeting the guests. The list made by Shang Wani must be the leaders of each family, but today, all the people who came were his assistants, or even his assistant's assistant. It looked like they were giving him face, but in fact, they didn't pay much attention to him. The information about the extreme North Island should have spread all over the Middle Island in these 2 days. With Lin Yi's identity and position, even if he didn't send an invitation, those big shots would find a chance to come and build a good relationship with Lin. After all, he was a mystic level 2 alchemist. Usually, they didn't have a chance to curry favor with him. Even if they went to the East Continent, they might not be able to find him. Now that the invitation was sent to them, none of them came? Thinking about it carefully, this situation was really strange. Although Lin Yi said that it was okay, he was very puzzled in his heart. Shang Wani was in charge of greeting the guests, so Lin Yi didn't need to worry about it. He simply looked for an empty space and pulled the 2 brothers Okuda and Okuda Ba upstairs to talk. Brothers Okuda, did something happen today? Lin Yi didn't stand on ceremony. After pulling the 2 brothers to sit down, he asked directly. Speaking of which, Okuda seemed to be the only leader of one of the forces today. Although he was the acting island owner, Lin Yi still appreciated his kindness. Others might not know about this matter, but Okuda definitely knew. Not to mention his identity as the acting island owner, just the Okuda family's representative on the surface was enough for him to know anything that happened in the Middle Island. Brother Lin, you don't have to worry about it. They're not targeting you. Okuda smiled and waved his hand. He didn't have any intention to hide it. Okuda Ba snorted. There was some disdain on his face. It seemed that he also knew the reason. Brother Lin, you don't have to care about them. It's just that the old guys behind haven't decided what to do with you, so the people under them don't dare to pick a side. In fact, with your identity and ability, which old guy doesn't want to rope you in? It's because they can't divide it evenly that they're in a stalemate. Okuda Ba didn't say it clearly, but it wasn't vague either. Lin Yi listened and understood instantly. It turned out that the ancient families of Middle Island didn't show a clear attitude, so those families and sects didn't dare to casually send out their leaders. This was like eating at the same table. A dish was served, but the boss didn't move his chopsticks. Which little brother would dare to reach out first? After eating, wouldn't they want to die? Right now, Lin Yi and the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce were like the dish that was just served, waiting for the boss to eat first. To be honest, this kind of feeling made Lin Yi very uncomfortable. His strength was still not enough. It was just an ancient family of Middle Island. If his strength was enough to crush the old monsters of the sea-splitting stage, He probably didn't need to send any invitations. These ancient families' patriarchs would rush to curry favor with him. In the end, although the identity of a mystic grade 2nd level alchemist was noble, if he wanted to truly gain the respect or awe of everyone, he needed absolute strength. Chapter 61-29. I get it. It's not a big deal. Lin Yi smiled faintly. He could understand what the heads of the families were thinking. If they sent someone important to congratulate them, they wouldn't offend Lin Yi and the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce too much. If they didn't show up, the ancient families wouldn't say anything either. It was a safe way to not offend either side. Thinking about it carefully, there was nothing to criticize. Lin Yi wasn't that narrow-minded. Even if he was angry, his target would be the ancient families. What was the saying? Today, you ignore me. Tomorrow, I'll make you too high for me. One day, they would regret looking down on the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Okudaba didn't say anything more. After today, he would leave Zhongdao. It was rare for him to get together with his second brother. It was good to take this opportunity to talk more. After a while, Wei Shenjin came upstairs to report that almost all the guests had arrived. He invited Lin Yi and the 2 Okuda brothers to go downstairs to attend the ceremony. So the 3 of them went downstairs together. The so-called opening ceremony was not too complicated. It was even simpler than the opening of a company in the secular world. However, it was still lively. Anyway, everyone gathered together to have a good time and announced the establishment of the Chamber of Commerce to let everyone know that there was such a thing. Yo, it's quite lively. I didn't expect that a trader of the Universal Chamber of Commerce could become the president of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. It can be seen that the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce isn't that great. As soon as the opening ceremony ended, Ping Jianshan walked in with several people from the Universal Chamber of Commerce. He had a sneer on his face and his words were sarcastic. Lin Yi's face darkened and his eyes narrowed slightly. It seemed that the previous lesson wasn't enough. This guy forgot the pain after the wound healed and came to provoke them again. He chose to do it at the opening ceremony of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Who gave him the courage? Liang Jingru. Well, no one would understand this joke. Lin Yi could only think about it in his heart. Anyway, it was just a small role. He didn't plan to show up and let Shang Wani deal with it. Since the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce had been handed over to Shang Wani, it seemed that Lin Yi was too incompetent to deal with such a small problem. Ping Jianshan, are you here on behalf of the Wanong Trade Association or on your own? Shang Wani was not angry at all. He calmly took 2 steps forward and asked Ping Jianshan. From a personal point of view, Shang Wani didn't want to send an invitation to the Universal Chamber of Commerce. However, from the standpoint of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce, he still had to send the invitation. It didn't matter whether the Universal Chamber of Commerce sent someone or not. Shang Wani didn't care when he didn't see anyone from the Universal Chamber of Commerce. He didn't expect him to come out and make trouble until now. If Ping Jianshan said that he came on behalf of the Universal Chamber of Commerce, it was tantamount to making it clear that he wanted to fight against the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce to the death. If it was just his personal behavior, Shang Wani would not hesitate to ask someone to throw him out. On the occasion where celebrities gathered in Zhongdao, a clown like Ping Jianshan couldn't do whatever he wanted. Throwing him out was already giving him face. If he met someone with a bad temper, it was not strange for him to be killed directly. I'm here on behalf of the Universal Chamber of Commerce to congratulate the establishment of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Master Lin, this is a small congratulatory gift. Please don't mind it. Ping Jianshan's face suddenly changed, and he smiled as he cupped his hands at Lin. It wasn't exactly respectful, but it was still polite. Since Ping Jianshan had changed his attitude, Shang Wani could only smile and ask someone to accept the congratulatory gift. As for Ping Jianshan deliberately ignoring him and greeting Lin Yi, he didn't care. Lin Yi looked at Ping Jianshan calmly. He didn't want to talk to this guy at all. For this kind of person who was obviously looking for trouble, it was impossible for him to be polite. Ping Jianshan didn't expect that Lin Yi dared not to give him any face on this occasion. But when he recalled Lin Yi's horror, he didn't dare to lose his temper. He could only smile, touch his nose, and turn his head. Hey, Aren't these the things sold by the Central Chamber of Commerce? Why does the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce sell the same goods as the Central Chamber of Commerce? Ping Jianshan pretended to have just found out and exclaimed loudly, as if everyone here was blind except for him. Ping Jianshan, what are you trying to say? Shang Wani's expression was somewhat unfriendly. It was the opening day of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. He didn't want anything unpleasant to happen. But if Ping Jianshan kept provoking him, he might have to take action forcefully. Otherwise, if he swallowed the insult in front of so many families and sects, they would think that the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce could be bullied at will. I just want to ask, is the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce affiliated with the Central Chamber of Commerce? It shouldn't be, right? What is Master Lin's status? How could he be a lackey of the Central Chamber of Commerce? So, are you guys counterfeiting the goods of the Central Chamber of Commerce? Ping Jianshan looked like he had found out the truth. His eyes darted around, trying to provoke the suspicion of all the families present. If a Chamber of Commerce counterfeited others' goods, it was basically equivalent to destroying its reputation. Not to mention doing business, it would be a problem for it to survive. Of course, this situation would only occur in some exclusive monopolized products, such as the technological products of the secular world of the Central Chamber of Commerce. If it was just elixirs and props that everyone had, then it couldn't be called counterfeiting. Shang Wani looked like he was looking at an idiot. He stretched out his finger and drew a circle in the air. With a slightly sarcastic smile, he said, Ping Jianshan, do you think everyone here is an idiot? Or are you the only smart person in the world who can see things that others can't? His words were a little harsh. Ping Jianshan's back was in a cold sweat. He had offended so many important figures in Zhongdao. Not to mention that he was only the executive vice president of the Universal Chamber of Commerce, even the entire Universal Chamber of Commerce could be uprooted. After all, compared with the forces of the entire Zhongdao, the Universal Chamber of Commerce was nothing. Shang Wani, don't change the topic. Is that what I meant? We are all smart people. Don't think that you can fool everyone with a few provocative words. Ping Jianshan didn't dare to be negligent. He quickly raised his voice to clarify. I think that's what you meant. What? Are you trying to show off your superiority as a smart person in front of me, Okudaba? As a good brother of Lin I Okudaba, of course, had to stand up and support the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce at this time. His calm words directly made Ping Jianshan blush. Chapter 6130. Captain Okuda, you've misunderstood. What I meant was that the Central Chamber of Commerce might be dissatisfied with the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce selling these things. After all, only they have these things. If the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce can't explain the source of the goods, I'm afraid there will be some problems. I'm just being kind, really. In front of Okuda, Ping Jianshan's aura plummeted, and he became more careful with his words. However, the meaning behind his words was still trying to discredit the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. After he finished speaking, many people looked at the representative from the Central Chamber of Commerce. In fact, many people felt that it was strange, but they didn't want to mention it. Since Ping Jianshan stood up for them, everyone was happy to find out the truth. The representative sent by the Central Chamber of Commerce was just a small fry. He didn't know the relationship between Lin Yi and the Central Chamber of Commerce. Being stared at by so many people, he couldn't help but feel nervous. Thinking about it carefully, the higher-ups didn't seem to care much about the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sent a small fry like him. However, they also told him not to offend Lin. This was a little awkward, and it was better to handle it carefully. Yes, the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce's goods also come from our Central Chamber of Commerce. As for whether there are their own imitations, I will go back and report to the higher-ups and investigate. Today, we are all here to congratulate the opening of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce, so let's not dwell on the details, okay? The representative from the Central Chamber of Commerce said a few ambiguous words, then lightly changed the topic. Everyone who came to attend the ceremony had a higher status than him. He shouldn't have said this, but considering his status as the representative of the Central Chamber of Commerce, no one stood up to object. Ping Jianshan was a little dumbfounded. If even the Central Chamber of Commerce didn't support his words, then he would really be courting death. The Universal Chamber of Commerce planned to use this matter to form an alliance with the Central Chamber of Commerce to suppress the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Based on the estimation of the Universal Chamber of Commerce, the Central Chamber of Commerce was currently locked in a fierce battle with the Hong Chamber of Commerce. If they took the initiative to extend an olive branch, they would at least not reject it. Both sides would benefit from working together, so what reason was there not to cooperate? Ping Jianshan glanced at the warden and cursed in his heart. He must have been sent by the Central Chamber of Commerce. This small fry has no right to make decisions. He should have informed the higher-ups first. The current situation was a little awkward. He could only temporarily give up on dealing with the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce and look for another opportunity in the future. Taking advantage of the Central Chamber of Commerce's deacon's words, Shang Wani calmly invited everyone to visit the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce, as if nothing had happened. Ping Jianshan was treated like air. He did not even look at him when he walked past him. Lin Yi smiled slightly. Although Shang Wani did not show much of his ability to control the situation, it was still over without any trouble. From his performance, it seemed that he was more than qualified to be the president of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. The opening ceremony was almost over. The place where the guests were invited was a restaurant near the Tiandan Pavilion. After Shang Wani brought everyone around for a while, he politely led most of the guests to the restaurant. Other than the Universal Chamber of Commerce and the Central Chamber of Commerce, which were not easy to deal with, the rest of the guests happily went to the restaurant for the banquet. Eating was not the most important thing. The most important thing was to take the opportunity to build relationships and network. As the behind-the-scenes owner of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce, Lin Yi naturally had to attend. However, he, the Okuda brothers, and a few of his close friends stayed behind. It would not be too late to go there later. While they were talking, a stunning beauty appeared at the entrance of the Tiandan Pavilion. Whether it was her appearance or temperament, she was not inferior to the Tiandan Pavilion's proprietress, Tian Chan, or Sydney. Without waiting for the receptionist to greet her, she walked directly to Lin. Why is she here? Lin Yi was slightly stunned. He turned to look at Ho Guanqi and saw that he was also at a loss. It seemed that he did not expect to see her here. Master Li Zhao, are you also here to congratulate the opening of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce? Okuda brothers cupped their fists from afar and took the initiative to greet her. Needless to say, the only young woman who could make them take the initiative to greet her was the chief alchemist of the Alchemy Hall, Li Zhaoyi. In the invitation list made by Shang Wani, Li Zhaoyi, who had some friendship with Lin Yi, was naturally not left out. However, when the invitation was sent yesterday, it was not directly delivered to her. Since she did not come before, they thought that she would not come. Okuda Island Master, Captain Okuda. Li Zhaoyi bowed with a plain face, and then nodded to greet Ho Guanqi, Kai Zhongyang, and the others who followed her. Then she asked, the opening of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce? Was it established by Lin Yi? Everyone was stunned. After all this time, she did not come to congratulate the opening of the Chamber of Commerce. She did not even know that there was such a thing? After Li Zhaoyi finished speaking, she realized that her question seemed to be a little inappropriate, so she smiled and nodded perfunctorily. Yes, I'm here to congratulate the opening of the Chamber of Commerce. Lin Yi, I wish you a prosperous business. Lin Yi was speechless. There was no sincerity in her words at all. Probably no one present would believe her. Whoever believed her would be stupid. Thank you. By the way, what else did you come to find me for? Lin Yi did not beat around the bush with her. He did not know what this strange girl was going to do. Seeing that he was going to the South Continent today, if it was not a particularly troublesome matter, he would help her if he could. Brother Lin, let's go over there to drink tea and chat first. You can come by yourself later. Okuda Ba signaled the others to leave quickly, but there was an inexplicable ambiguous feeling in their eyes. Lin Yi saw it and was secretly amused. It was obviously not correct to say that there was no relationship between him and Li Zhaoyi, but it did not seem appropriate to say that there was a relationship between them. It was quite difficult to define. Li Zhaoyi's pretty face blushed slightly. She was just a little cold. She could still understand the eyes of these guys, but it was not easy for her to distinguish anything. She could only force herself to be calm and maintain that indifferent look. When Okuda-ba and the others all left the Tiandan pavilion, Linny smiled and said, "You don't have to care about them." "What's the matter?" Li Zaoi stared hard at Lin. Okuda-ba and the others did not say anything. What did he mean by, "don't have to care about them"? He really touched my sore spot. Lin Yi coughed dryly. He felt that when he faced the strange girl, he was indeed a little abnormal. It was better to say less. Chapter 61:31. After sitting down, it was Lin Yi who broke the awkwardness and spoke first. If he continued to remain silent, he would start to feel awkward. "Well, junior sister, what brings you here today? You're not going to refine pills again, are you?" As soon as the words left his mouth, Lin Yi regretted it. Would Li Zaoi think that he was flirting with her? The last time the two of them worked together to refine pills, everyone was well aware of what happened. Saying that was tantamount to bringing up the past again. Sure enough, when Li Zaoi heard that, her pretty face suddenly turned red at a speed visible to the naked eye. In an instant, her face looked like it was about to drip blood. However, there was not much shame in her two big eyes, but more anger. "Oh, by the way, junior sister, have you heard from Master recently? Is it possible that he will be back soon?" Lin Yi smiled bitterly to himself and quickly changed the topic, although it was a little stiff. "No." Li Zaoi replied coldly and stiffly. After a pause, she continued, "I came to you this time because I need your help with something." Lin Yi breathed a sigh of relief in his heart. It seemed that this weird girl had adjusted her emotions. Perhaps she did not continue to fly into a rage because she needed his help. However, it did not matter. It was fine as long as she let go of the mistake just now. "Junior sister, if you need my help, just tell me. I will definitely help if I can." Lin Yi did not dare to guarantee anything, so he still left some leeway in his words. It was because Li Zaoi could always find something that he could not do, so it was safer to be conservative. "Do you have time these days? I want to invite you to go to a place with me. It may take about a month or two." Li Zaoi did not stand on ceremony with Lin Yi and directly put forward her request. Before coming to look for Lin Yi, Li Zaoi should have already thought it through, so she spoke very naturally, as if she was only waiting for Lin Yi to agree to set off directly. Lin Yi frowned slightly. 1 to 2 months was too long. If it was 3 to 5 days, he could still delay it. But after 1 to 2 months, he would be ready to set off for the East Continent. What about the South Continent? He did not dare to pin all his hopes on Languza. This guy was definitely good at eating, fighting, acting cool, and acting cool. Hao Zili and the other two were more reliable when it came to spying. Unfortunately, the leader this time was Languza. Even if a reliable person followed him, he would become somewhat unreliable. Therefore, Lin Yi from the South Continent had to make a trip in person. "Is it very difficult?" Li Zaoi saw that Lin Yi did not answer, but frowned, and suddenly became a little unhappy. "I just want you to accompany me to a place for a month or two. Do you have to be so difficult?" "Junior sister, it's not that I don't want to help. It's just that after the matter here today, I have to set off for the South Continent. This matter is quite urgent. It's too long to delay it for a month or two. If it's just 3 to 5 days, then it's not a problem." Lin Yi waved his hand and decided to tell the truth. This was something that he had promised Shanghai Tianhua, and he had to do it no matter what. If Li Zaoi had made an appointment with Lin Yi on the far north island, he would definitely consider rearranging the time and itinerary. "You're going to the South Continent today? Why didn't you tell me in advance?" Li Zaoi looked stunned, but she was not unhappy after being rejected. Lin Yi was speechless. "Why did I tell you that I was going to the South Continent? Originally, it was to inquire about the information of the center in the South Continent. Except for the few most trusted people around him, even Hou Guanqi, Kai Zhongyang, and the others did not know, so as not to leak the news and alert the center. Wouldn't it be crazy to specially go to the pill hall to tell you?" Li Zaoi suddenly smiled, waved her hand and said, "Well, this matter is not important. In fact, the place I want you to accompany me is in the South Continent. Going back and forth to the South Continent, including the time delayed, is about a month or two. Since your original destination is the South Continent, this time can naturally be ignored. After you get there, it won't take too much of your time. You also want to go to the South Continent? Lin Yi shook his head with a wry smile. This weird girl did not make it clear earlier, causing him to deliberately refuse once. Not to mention that he could not refuse now, he reckoned that Li Xiaoyi might not appreciate it even if he agreed. Yes, the place I want to go is in the South Continent. This time, it's on the way. You have nothing to say, right? Li Xiaoyi showed a rare look of pride, as if she was happy to see Lin Yi being defeated. Since it's on the way, let's go together. Is it okay to leave tonight? Lin Yi did not argue with Li Xiaoyi, and quickly settled the matter. No problem. Aren't you going to ask me what I'm going to do in the South Continent? Li Xiaoyi couldn't help but ask. Was Lin Yi really not curious at all? Oh, little junior sister, what are you going to do in the South Continent? Lin Yi readily followed her advice and immediately cooperated with her. Li Xiaoyi suddenly became angry. Why was this attitude so hateful? If she didn't know that she could not beat him, she really wanted to beat him up. I have a clue of an ancient relic here. It is said that it was left by an alchemy master. There are many treasures in alchemy, so I want to go and have a look. For the sake of my master, I will take you with me. Li Xiaoyi glared at Lin Yi with hatred, and then told him the purpose of going to the South Continent. Didn't you come to me for help? How did it become you taking me with you? Lin Yi smiled slightly, deliberately teasing Li Xiaoyi. This weird girl was quite arrogant, and he would feel sorry for himself if he didn't tease her. I am taking you with me, and it is for the sake of my master. Li Xiaoyi emphasized her tone, and at the same time, she widened her eyes, indicating that she would not accept Lin Yi's refutation. Okay, you can take me with you, thank you. Feeling the strong murderous intent in her eyes, Lin Yi wisely did not continue to tease this weird girl, and asked about the relic. You said that the ancient relic was left by an alchemy master. Is there any evidence? Besides you, does anyone else know about it? To be honest, Lin Yi was also very curious about the relic of this alchemy master. Not long ago, he had just gone with the will of heaven to the relic of a cultivator of the battle art of creation, and as a result, Han Jingjing took in a 10,000-year-old tortoise as a spirit puppet. Could it be that the relic of the South Continent was deliberately left behind to fish again? Was there also a 10,000-year-old alchemy master's spirit inside that was ready to take over? Of course, even if it was really a trap, Lin Yi was not afraid. He was best at dealing with spirits as long as there were good things inside. Chapter 6132. Li Xiaoyi's identity was extremely respectable. Not only was she the head refiner, but she was also Zhang Liju's personal disciple. In terms of qualifications, Hou Guanqi couldn't compare to her. Zheng Dongjue and the others know as well? Lin Yi frowned. This was the bad thing about the pill hall. Zhang Liju, this cheap master, wasn't here, and even if Zheng Dongjue was the most powerful vice head, even if he suffered a lot in the extreme North Island, it didn't shake his foundation. Plus, the automatic furnaces of the Yao sects were selling like hotcakes these days, and Zheng Dongjue gained a lot of glory as well. His position in the pill hall was becoming more and more stable. Zheng Dongjue knows that this time, that annoying guy from House Zheng will be going to Nanzhou. Other than that, there are a few other high-level members of the pill hall who might be going, but they haven't been decided yet. I don't want to go with them, so I asked for your help. I want to enter the ruins, and it's a bit difficult to go alone. Li Xiaoyi was very frank. As long as Lin Yi wanted to know, she would tell him everything in detail. Lin Yi nodded faintly. He didn't want to argue whether it was Li Xiaoyi bringing him or him bringing Li Xiaoyi. The key was that House Zheng was involved, and he wouldn't be at ease if he didn't accompany Li Xiaoyi. So many people from the pill hall are going. It seems like they're determined to get the ruins. Is it okay for you to bring me there alone? Lin Yi asked casually. In fact, he was thinking that with Li Xiaoyi by his side, even if the center found out that he was going to Nanzhou, he would have a reasonable excuse. When he needed to gather information in Nanzhou, he could wear red dust manifestation and change his identity to move in the dark. Not only would there be no conflict between the two, but there might even be unexpected rewards. Don't worry. Nothing will happen to the person I'm bringing along. Plus, the things in the ruins don't have to belong to anyone. We're all from the Pill Hall, and it's up to our own destinies. At most, we'll just have to contribute one portion to the Pill Hall. Li Xiaoyi raised her chin, looking very proud. She did have the confidence to say something like this. After all, her identity was there, and even Jing Dongjue wouldn't dare be presumptuous in front of her. That's settled then. We'll set off tonight. Let's go eat something first, shall we? Lin Yi stood up and invited Li Xiaoyi to the restaurant for dinner. After such a long delay, the other side was probably waiting for him, the behind-the-scenes boss, to appear. Forget about eating. I didn't expect you to set off for the South Continent so soon, so I have to go back and pack up first. When you're done here, come to the Pill Hall to find me. Li Xiaoyi shook her head. She had no interest in banquets and socializing, so she didn't need to think about it and directly refused. Lin Yi naturally would not force her. After accompanying her out of the Tiandan Pavilion, they went their separate ways. The Dan Hall and the restaurant happened to be in two different directions, and this time, they did not go the same way. When they arrived at the restaurant, sure enough, everyone who came was waiting for Lin. When the Chamber of Commerce opened just now, he didn't say much. If he didn't say a few words now, it seemed that no one was going to eat. Everyone, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to support the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. I'm very grateful. I won't say too many polite words. In the future, I still need friends here to do me the favor and support the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. Here, on behalf of President Shang Wani and all the staff of the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce, I thank you all again. Lin Yi said a few simple words. Anyway, they were all polite words. He said it casually and the others just listened. He was just going through the motions and was happy. Master Lin is too polite. It's our honor to be invited by the Tiandan Pavilion Chamber of Commerce. In the future, we still need Master Lin and the Chamber of Commerce to take care of us. An elder of a small family stood up enthusiastically to express his support. Although Lin Yi hadn't seen him before, he had a good impression of the first person who stood up. Well said. Master Lin can establish the Chamber of Commerce. It's a blessing for all of us in the Middle Island. If we don't support Master Lin, who else can we support? Some people who didn't want to be left behind also stood up hurriedly to express that they were on Lin Yi's side. Then, this kind of situation became more and more frequent. Anyway, the people sitting here were basically people who wanted to be on good terms with Lin Yi. Everyone helped him, everyone helped him. Although the leaders of the various sects didn't come, it was obviously not wrong to show enough kindness to Lin. As for those who were really close to Lin Yi, such as Kai Zhongyang of the Five Elements Commerce, Hou Guanqi of the Dan Hall, Wei Shenjin and the elders of the Snowsword faction, and so on, they didn't come out to express their support first. Because everyone knew their relationship with Lin Yi, it wouldn't be good for them to stand up for him. Lin Yi said a few more polite words, and then the banquet officially began. He sat beside Okuda Zhou and Okuda Dam and whispered to each other. Brother Lin, your growth is really too fast. From now on, it's your turn to take care of me. Okuda Zhou waited for Lin Yi to sit down and said half jokingly and half seriously. He also raised his glass to toast Lin. Brother Okuda, you're treating me like an outsider. Don't say that I don't have much ability. Even if I really grow up with the relationship between you and me as brothers, what else do you need to say? Lin Yi smiled slightly, raised his glass, and said humbly. Originally, Okuda Zhou had always respected Lin Yi, but it wasn't as obvious as it was now. It could even be said that his attitude was very low. It was probably because he heard about the things that happened on the extreme North Island. Not to mention that Lin Yi was valued by the Li family's sea-splitting stage old monster Li Lin. Just his achievements in fighting against the sea beast tide was enough for Okuda Zhou to be willing to put down his pride and make friends with Lin. The acting island master of the Middle Island sounded very glorious, but in the ancient families, it was just a spokesperson on the surface. Inside the family, it was not a core. Those ancestors of the sea-splitting stage would hardly pay attention to such a spokesperson. Lin Yi, with his own strength, had obtained far more attention than Okuda Zhou in the ancient families. To be honest, he really envied Lin Yi from the bottom of his heart. That's enough, second brother. Brother Lin isn't so pretentious. We've been through life and death together. It's not something that can be said clearly. It's fine as long as you know it in your heart. Okuda Ba waved his hand casually, interrupting the pleasantries between Lin Yi and Okuda Zhou. He raised his glass, and the three people raised their heads and smiled. As the president of the Chamber of Commerce, Shang Wani was busy shuttling back and forth between the tables. So, Lin Yi didn't need to appear in person. He just sat there and chatted with the others. Seeing that it was almost time, he said goodbye and quietly left the restaurant with Tian-chan and Sydney. He took out the UFO and flew to the island where the wormhole was located. Chapter 6133. The Chamber of Commerce is managed by President Shang Wani. It doesn't really matter if the two of us are there or not. Why don't we accompany you to the southern continent this time? Tian-chan's eyes darted around, and she suggested going to the southern continent with Lin. That won't do. Let's not talk about whether you guys will affect my operation if you go to the southern continent. I can't do without the two of you. Jing Jing is focused on studying the wormhole, so you guys have to cooperate with her. Jing Jing can't be counted on to transport the goods, so you guys have to worry about it. Lin Yi's words made sense. The wormhole was the top secret at the moment, and only Tian-chan and Sydney knew about it. If it were someone else, he wouldn't be at ease. If Han Jingjing could figure out how to destroy the center's wormhole exit, the center's good days would really come to an end. By then, the island would be even more important, so the fewer people who knew about it, the safer it would be. It was a pity that Tianxing had been in seclusion and had not come out. Otherwise, he would have been able to focus on his cultivation and protect Han Jingjing. In addition, Wang Ba was here. With a senior who cultivated the creation battle art personally guiding him, Tianxing's cultivation speed of the creation battle art might have been faster. Even though the will of heaven wanted to walk his own path, and Wang Ba's creation battle art cultivation did not have much reference value, it was definitely better to study and learn from each other than in isolation. This kind of face-to-face communication was completely different from just looking at cultivation experience. Yes, we will cooperate with Jing Jing. The wormhole exit is the foundation of the Chamber of Commerce, so it's more suitable for us to stay. Sydney nodded gently. Although she wanted to go to the southern continent with Lin Yi, since he needed her to stay, she would stay. Tian-chan snorted and wrinkled her nose. Since you don't want us to go with you, do you have someone else in mind? For example, the Pill Hall's Li Zhaoyi who came to find you. Lin Yi broke into a sweat. A woman's sixth sense was really terrifying. He had not said anything, but she could guess it immediately. However, it seemed that he didn't want them to go to the South Continent because of Li Zhaoyi. If he didn't explain it clearly, the two of them would definitely be unhappy. Li Zhaoyi is indeed going to the South Continent, but she is not going with me. Instead, the Alchemy Hall got the news that there is a relic of an ancient alchemist in the South Continent. She came to me for help to explore it. I happen to be going to the Southern Continent, and I'm also interested in the ruins, so I agreed to accompany her to have a look. Lin Yi briefly explained the matter and didn't intend to hide it. So that's how it is. All right, seeing that you're quite honest, I won't argue with you. But if there's a next time, you must come with us. Tian-chan didn't pester Lin Yi too much. Anyway, they were already used to Lin Yi having another female confidant from time to time. What's more, the Heaven Stage Island had always been a place where the strong were respected. As long as you were strong enough, no one would interfere no matter how many lovers you had. Tian-chan, how did you guess that Li Zhaoyi would go to the South Continent with me? Don't tell me it's a sixth sense, a woman's intuition, or something like that. Lin Yi nodded with a smile as a promise, and then asked curiously. Yes, it's intuition. Do you think I'm eavesdropping on you talking about love? Tian-chan rolled her eyes at Lin. Even if she wanted to eavesdrop, she couldn't hide it from Lin Yi's perception. What's more, how could she do this kind of thing? Not really. I just want to say that your intuition is quite good. By the way, why do you sound jealous? Lin Yi controlled the flying saucer to land on the island and casually joked with Tian-chan. Tian-chan giggled and said, "Why are you jealous? If you talk nonsense again, I'll kick you." What Tian-chan means is that we're both floating in a sea of jealousy. Why should we be jealous over such a small thing? Sydney covered her mouth and snickered, then teased him. As they joked, the matter of Li Zhaoyi was officially put aside. After putting away the flying saucer, Lin Yi brought the two of them to the exit of the wormhole. Han Jingjing was still studying the wormhole with all her attention while Wang Ba was sorting out the goods that were sent from the secular world. In fact, he could just use the storage ring to store them, but Han Jingjing felt that he was too free, so she gave him something to do so that he would not think too much. "Boss Lin, you're here." Seeing the three of them coming in, Wang Ba quickly went up and greeted them with a bow and a nod. After being taught a lesson by Lin Yi twice, Wang Ba was completely traumatized by him. The extent of the trauma was so huge that it was basically incalculable. "Brother Lin Yi, is everything done over there?" When Han Jingjing heard Wang Ba, she lifted her head and greeted Tian-chan and Sydney with a smile. Then, she asked about the opening of the Chamber of Commerce. "Yes, the Chamber of Commerce has officially opened. The business on the first day is quite good. Is there any progress on your side?" Lin Yi smiled and walked to Han Jingjing's side. He looked at her laptop screen. Unfortunately, Lin Yi did not understand anything on the screen at all, so it made no difference whether he looked at it or not. "Yes, regarding the wormhole, I can't destroy the exit in the center yet. However, I found something special about the wormhole. Brother Lin, look, this is a small device that I just made. As long as it's here, when using the wormhole, it can't return to its original state after it disintegrates into particles." Han Jingjing swiped on the table twice and found a black round piece the size of a fingernail from the pile of bits and pieces. She placed it on her palm like she was presenting a treasure and showed it to Lin. Lin Yi was slightly stunned. He did not understand at that moment. What exactly could this black round piece be used for? Was it meaningful for them to destroy the teleportation item? Han Jingjing slapped her forehead and said with a smile, "Brother Lin Yi, do you not understand what this thing is used for?" "I'm sorry, I didn't make it clear." Before Lin Yi could speak, Han Jingjing turned around and typed a series of commands on the laptop keyboard. Then, a 3D drawing appeared on the screen. Lin Yi could understand it. It was an automatic alchemy furnace. It seemed like Jing Jing had designed a new automatic alchemy furnace to fight against the famed medicine sect. "Brother Lin Yi, I designed a new automatic alchemy furnace while I was researching the wormhole. After it's made, there's no need for an alchemist. As long as a cultivator inserts their vital qi, they can refine pills on their own. However, the level of the pills isn't high. The upper limit is yellow level rank 5, which is the same as what the famed medicine sect sells." Han Jingjing pointed at the 3D drawing on the laptop and gave a simple introduction to Lin. Chapter 6134. As long as Lin Yi bro thinks it's enough, it's good. The only thing I'm worried about is that once the automatic furnace is sold, those refiners who worked so hard to learn would have no way to survive. Is that really the right thing to do? Han Jingjing sighed softly. Naturally, the things she made were for the public's convenience, but this way, those refiners, who were supposed to be noble, might lose their ability to survive. Yellow-ranked level 5 elixirs were widely used on the Heavenly Island, and alchemists who could refine yellow-ranked level 5 elixirs, other than the East Continent, were all highly sought after by all the sects on the other islands. With an automatic alchemy furnace, an ordinary cultivator would be able to refine a yellow level 5 elixir just by injecting true qi into it. What would they need these alchemists for? Because of that, Han Jingjing did feel a little guilty, but she was more worried that it would cause trouble for Lin. The appearance of the automatic furnace would affect the huge organization known as the Hall of Elixirs. Not counting Zhang Liju, the head refiner of the Hall of Elixirs, Li Zhaoyi, was barely a mystic level 2 refiner, and the rest didn't even have mystic level 1. Golden level 5 refiners were definitely the pillars of the Hall of Elixirs. Wouldn't the Hall of Elixirs hold a grudge against Tiandan Pavilion Merchant Association for selling the automatic furnace? Lin Yi smiled faintly. Han Jingjing didn't need to say it out loud to understand what she was thinking, but it wasn't a big deal. "Jing Jing, you think automatic alchemy furnaces will affect the survival of alchemists, but I don't think so. A yellow rank 5th level alchemist only needs to put in a little more effort to break through this limit. Therefore, selling automatic alchemy furnaces will encourage more alchemists to pursue higher ranks and not be satisfied with the current situation. Lin Yi's words made sense, but there was a precondition, and that was if Han Jingjing didn't upgrade the furnace. If there were upgrades in the future and normal people could make higher level pills, then there really wouldn't be a need for refiners to exist anymore. Did Han Jingjing have the ability to upgrade the furnace? Just look at Lin Yi's Shenong cauldron and you'd know the answer. Big brother Lin Yi's words make sense. Forget it, Jingjing doesn't need to worry about those alchemists anymore. Han Jingjing smiled and waved her hand. As long as Lin Yi said there was no problem, she was relieved. Besides, our automatic alchemy furnace still has some limitations. The materials inside need to be changed regularly so that ordinary cultivators can practice alchemy. It can also be considered as increasing the cost of alchemy for these people. Jingjing, you made this little thing to prevent the automatic pill furnace from being teleported back to the secular world, right? Lin Yi picked up the black disc and realized. The automatic alchemy furnace of the medicine sect must have been given to them by the center, and the things in the center were definitely derived from the automatic alchemy furnace that Han Jingjing had sold in the secular world. In this aspect, Han Jingjing was definitely an existence that had always been imitated and never surpassed. When a new automatic alchemy furnace appeared, the center would definitely study it immediately. Even if the central base of Heavenly Island had a technological laboratory, it would most likely not be too advanced. They would probably still have to send the samples back to the secular world. Han Jingjing made this black disc in preparation for a rainy day. If the center could send the automatic alchemy furnace back to the secular world, they could consider themselves impressive if they could replicate it on Heavenly Island. Big brother Lin Yi is so amazing. You guessed it right away. Han Jingjing smiled and clapped her hands. Then, she pointed at the black disc in Lin Yi's hand and said, "Actually, in addition to destroying the recombination of particles during teleportation, this thing also has an anti-hacking function. No matter who it is, if they want to forcefully disassemble the automatic alchemy furnace, this device will destroy the program inside and completely reformat the system. It looks like it won't be so easy for the center to make a copy this time. Jingjing, is the automatic alchemy furnace troublesome? Can it be mass-produced?" Lin Yi knew that the medicine sect had a sufficient supply of automatic alchemy furnaces. If Han Jingjing could only make a dozen or 20 of them, they probably would not be able to fight against the medicine sect. It's not a big problem. Wang Ba has a forging pool here. He can help cast the furnace's outer embryo because it's relatively simple. There's no need to worry about time. Jingjing will get Brother Dafeng to purchase the sophisticated technological components from the secular world and teleport them over. Finally, we just need to assemble it. Prepare for a few days, and we'll be able to mass-produce it soon. Han Jingjing had already calculated this, so she explained to Lin Yi in an orderly manner. It doesn't matter if it's a few days late. Jingjing, you don't have to be too anxious. Take care of your body. Tian Chan and Sydney will help with this. After the production, we'll hand it over to Shang Wanyi to arrange the sales. Lin smiled. He had already decided to go to the South Continent today. Otherwise, he would like to see the automatic alchemy furnaces and the confrontation with his own eyes. Boss Lin, look, I'm going to help Master cast the furnace. Although it's just a rough embryo, it's still very draining. In my current state, I'll delay Master's business. Wang Ba felt that he could be of some use again, so he quickly came over and said with a flattering smile. Although he did not say it explicitly, everyone knew that this guy was begging Lin Yi to heal his primordial spirit. Or rather, he was begging Lin Yi to give him a few drops of Black Sea soul condensing liquid. Lin Yi glanced at Wang Ba, and this guy suddenly felt a chill in his heart. He could not help but shrink back, and the shadow in his heart seemed to be increasing. I'll leave some Black Sea soul condensing liquid in your master's hands. Perform well. Lin Yi warned Wang Ba in a calm tone. With the previous lesson, he would not waste the Black Sea soul condensing liquid to completely heal this guy's primordial spirit. Yes. I'll definitely perform well. Don't worry, Boss Lin. Wang Ba immediately nodded and agreed. He was satisfied with the result. Han Jingjing was not Lin. Although she was extremely smart, it was only in the field of research. It was possible to trick her into giving him a few more drops of Black Sea soul-condensing liquid. Lin Yi waved his hand and sent Wang Ba to the casting pool to cast the rough embryo of the furnace. The refining materials needed for this kind of furnace were not high, so it was enough for him to work for a while. After chatting with Han Jingjing for a while, Lin Yi took out 2 storage bags and handed them to Tian Chan and Sydney. He asked them to take some of the goods back. Han Jingjing's storage ring had her own divine sense mark, so others could not open it. If she did not return to Middle Island, the ring would be useless. The storage bag did not have a large space, so the goods that could be taken were limited. However, Tian Chan and Sydney